So hello. This one's gonna be a little bit unorthodox. Do I don't usually do like content like this. But today we're changing that. We're gonna have some fun today. We're gonna make a tier list. Um, so I don't know. I was kind of just bored. Why does he keep doing that? Oh, it's here. That's why. I don't need this. So we're gonna do a tier list. We're going to rank every check in the game. Not in the game, but in Season 7 at least. And this is gonna be my complete opinion, like this, there's no like logic or something. This is just gonna be like my opinion of basically like how good, bad, annoying, like whatever metric you can come up with. This isn't meant to be like an exact science kind of thing. I'm just having fun. So yeah, so let me first change this up a little bit. Definitely gonna be an F tier. So I guess we can begin at the start. And so I have the game open if I want to like demonstrate anything. So and this was in order when I made it, like the actual tier list from Tier List Maker, it was in order, but it doesn't look like it's in order. So we're kind of just gonna be going kind of just out of nowhere. So anyway, where do we start? Why don't we start at the bottom? Let me find the worst check in the game. Hey, yeah, so let's see. Zunari. I do not think Zunari is the worst check in the game. Let's go to some low tiers. Fire Mountain. Absolutely. Get your ass down there. One of the worst checks in the game. It's in the middle of nowhere. That one's definitely there. I'll explain it. I'll explain a little more like later. Let me just get the ones. Bomb Island. I don't think Bomb Island is an F tier. Oh, this one. This fucker. Letter from Bido. That check is awful. If you ever have to do that check, it's never fun. Because you have to beat... So Letter from Bido, if you don't know, it's basically you need to beat Earth Temple, and then you also mail note to mom. So the amount of things you have to do just to get this check is insane. It's not very common that you have to do this check, but when you do, it can just be some of the most annoying scenarios. One of the most annoying scenarios that can happen with that check is if you finish Earth Temple like in a full clear, you sometimes have the option of go check Bido Mail, see if that's like your shard or something, that's your go mode. Then you have that, or you can go back into Earth Temple and complete the rest of it. Because so like the most common route to beat Earth Temple is go to the bottom, beat the boss first, and then go back in and fight and do the rest of the dungeon. But to beat the boss, you'll have to go in the warp at the end, and it'll set you to the start. And so there's a chance that if you have Bido Mail, you can leave, go get that, and if that's like your shard or something and you're in go mode, then you just saved like a shit ton of time. So Letter from Bido is one of the most annoying checks in the game. That one I definitely deserves F tier. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what other true F tiers there are. Oh, you know what? Okay, maybe this one's gonna be a little more controversial. Let me find it. God. Yeah, this... I really wish this was in better order, because it is hard to find certain things. Like, I swear, I made all these in nice order. Like, it took a while to make all these, but they were in good order, but... Okay, well, what I'm looking for is... here it is. Maze chest. Yeah, maze chest is awful. I'm gonna also okay. I'm gonna add another tier. I'm gonna make an E tier. Actually, no. I wanted E to be purple. Yeah, that works. So, Ganon Maze, this is also kind of a cop-out where, like, it's one of those checks where you don't do it very often, but every single seed where you have to do Ganon Maze, it's just never fun. It's always, like, if it's Fire and Ice, which is the most common scenario, it just means that you're gonna have a really tough time finding the other Fire and Ice, like, because you're not gonna have as many bows to find in Logic. And it just always makes the seed a little more complicated. And if it's, like, bombs or leaf or grapple, it's just the worst check in the game pretty much. I mean, it's locked by more than like any other check in the game, so that check is awful. That will stay at the bottom. All right. And I guess Fire Mountain, I didn't explain Fire Mountain, but it's just one-off check that takes a million years to complete. It's just bad. Let's do some E tiers. Ghost Ship for sure. Ghost Ship. Actually, I'll throw Creep in there too. Both of these checks are slow. So one of the, like, as checks get faster, they go higher on the tier list. Some of the slowest checks in the game are going to be in the bottom, and these two are really slow. Ghost Ship isn't always slow. Like, there are some scenarios where it's actually not that bad, but there are so many chances where Ghost Ship is just in the middle of nowhere, and you can't really do much about it. I would honestly say maybe it deserves a D tier. Because I feel like it does have very good routing. Like, you do need to route it well, and it's kind of fun to do that, but I'd still say it's pretty low. Like, it's definitely not my favorite check at all, like, anywhere close. So yeah. Let's do some top tiers. What are some of the top tiers? I'm gonna just go around. Like, I want to get like a basis of what certain checks will be. So like, just, you know what? Top tier, Islet. Because Islet is one of the easiest places to route in the game, I feel like. It's never that far out of your way in a lot of situations, because, like, if you're at outset, you can, so, like, the nice thing is when you're in, like, the bottom corner of the map, if you're in, like, outset, horseshoe, diamond step, or needle rock, you can either super swim there. Like, you can super swim from any of those islands to Islet. It can be a little difficult sometimes, but you can do it. You can super swim from anywhere. If you're at Needle Rock or Great Fish, you just sail, and it's not a long sail. Same with Diamond Step. Diamond Step has an easy super swim. Islet is really not that bad. It's one of those checks that, like, if just doing, it's not that bad. It also has money near it, so you can get some early game money, which is really nice. Like, going to outset early can get you some easy money. Yes, those are another ones. Cliff Plat. I'm gonna put both Cliff Plat chests in S tier. These two checks are your start. They're, if Cliff Plat's not hinted dead, these are your start, like, almost every seed. Because there's, like, no reason not to. You can just get two quick checks. You can chain it with BPR. Where's the other Cliff Plat check? There's so many checks. Where is it? Here we go. This one. Yeah. I think these are very incontestably S tiers. BPR? Where's BPR? I don't actually know where I'm gonna rank it. This one's a little more confusing. Unless, yeah, I want to get it. I'm gonna do that in a little bit. I'm gonna first do a, I'm gonna run through, like, the ones that are, like, in specific spots, and then I'll go down the list, because I need to set, like, a basis. BPR is like a B tier, I'd say. It's really good that Um, you can route it after Cliff Plat a lot of the time, so it's not that bad. The problem is when Cliff Plat's dead, then it becomes really annoying to route. It, like, it's funny because it's logically locked by Bait Bag, but in reality, it's locked by either Cliff Plat or Grappling Hook. And because you never do the Bait Bag strat, like it just never happens. So it means that BPR can sometimes just be really annoying if, like, for one, if grapples in BPR, that's awful. That's gonna be like a last location eat like free. Um and so that can be bad. And then just routing it in, because like it is kind of in the middle of nowhere. If like in a situation where Cliff Plat and maybe Bomb Island are dead, then you can't really get to BPR easily. So this check, it's good sometimes and bad other times. Maybe it might go a little, actually might go to a little lower. Is that okay? Yeah, so let's go now let's go down. I think I can go down the list, like straight. So Mothula mini boss in Forbidden Woods. This one. So okay, there's gonna be a few dungeon ones that are gonna be thing. I might need to make a few more tiers, honestly. Because there's so many checks. And I might need to make a relevant tier. Because some of the dungeon checks are very similar in a sense. Mothula mini boss, I'd say, like when it comes to a check, is just like a mid. Like, it's not a particularly annoying to get to check, because you always just do the storage strat to get there, and it's not that bad. So I'd say it's fine. Like, it's a mid check. You get the void, so you get to like reset your chest storage, which means you get your items. So it's a fine check. There's no like problems with it really. Yeah, Tingle jail first item, S tier straight. This item or this check, actually I can find Tingle upper jail too. I mean, I guess I'll find it in a little bit. That check is also amazing. They're just Tingle Maze chest too. Definitely belong there. I think these genuinely might be the best checks in the game when it comes to just ease of doing. Like, there's absolutely no routing really with it. You just do it early. It's 3 straight really quick checks. Like, there's some of the best checks in the game. You always do them as soon as you can. I mean, it's not as brain dead because it like depends on when you go to Windfall, but whenever you're at Windfall, like, they're not hard to route. And I guess I see it too. Taco's up there. He's so versatile to route because he's basically like, you just do it when you're doing kids. Like, he also goes basically at the top. But alright, Cyclos. This one, I actually hate Cyclos. Not gonna lie. Maybe it's a C. I think maybe a C. But it's not as bad as Ghost Ship. This check is... So, okay, it's weird. This is a weird one, because in Season 7, he's a lot worse than he used to be. Because there was, like, no opportunities to get him. The only times you can are leaving Windfall, pretty much. Because you're never at Southern Ferry, and you're never at Mother and Child much. Like, you don't do swims at Mother and Child often. So most of the time, the only time you can do it is Windfall. And it makes it so, like, on seeds where you get bows at weird times, like, it makes you want to... It's another reason to want to go back to Windfall, and in certain seeds, it just doesn't feel right a lot of the time. It basically means that Windfall has an extra check that's bow-locked. So it's just not great. Actually, yeah, you can do it after Star, you can do it after 2-Eye, but like... Or after Headstone. Headstone is the most realistic one. I have done that a few times. But... it's just not great. Like, I don't know. I feel the check is so punishing also because it's usually early in logic, so it usually has something, and it's also slow. I think people underrate how slow Cyclos is. You have to go really far out of your way for one check, and the check takes like a minute or two or something. It's a really long check. So I think people underrate how bad the check is. Like, it is not great. Though, like, to be honest, compared to, like, I put definitely BPR above Cyclos. Cyclos, I don't know, that check is not good. Darrow wins Requiem. This is a... obvious. It's just actually no, I'm gonna put an A. B. Yeah, I don't know. It's actually okay. So I do feel there were a few checks that because there's Sphere Zero do actually make them worse. Yeah, it kind of does. Because the fact that there's so many things you want for DRI now actually does kind of nerf it. The check on itself is fine. Like, it's not hard to get, but the real problem is going, like, it got nerfed because of Wizrobe Cave. Wizrobe Cave really nerfed it because you want more things to go to Pomper now. And Pomper was already one of those locations that you wanted to greed out for. And then, like, Crescent's Crescent, but there's a lot of items you want for DRI now. So I honestly, yeah, this check, it used to be like free S tier, but yeah, I think I'll put an A. Greatfish chest. Oh my god, I hate this check. This check is like one of the reasons I did terribly in the last qual. God. Okay, this is a little low. But this check, if you don't have Zunari, the check is fine. It's kind of just one of those like random checks you throw in when you go to Greatfish, which isn't common. To be fair, it's also not common you go to Greatfish very much. Like, it's one of those late game regions that you go like to clean up Needle Rock or do Rock Spire. So it's not like Greatfish is a good place anyway to go to. But Zunari makes it so much worse just because you don't want to go to Greatfish without delivery bag because then you're potentially orphaning Zunari, and Zunari is one of the, again, I mean, I can, if I find Zunari goes straight at the bottom. Yeah, and the hookshot choke is really precise sometimes. Like, it's not easy to get, and like, if you don't have hookshot, getting to it is really slow because you have to save and quit after the chest. You have to fly all the way there, so it's just a really annoying check. This one has messed me up a lot, and it's annoying because you can peek this check, but like, there are situations where you just don't want to go to Greatfish because it doesn't make sense, and that can screw you over, literally just the qual, so. Alright, yeah, I think I could comfortably put that there. Lower jail cell and FF. This check, it's like I put an A. It's honestly nothing. It's one of the most bog standard FF checks. It's actually not locked by anything. You can get this check Sphere Zero if you just break into FF. So honestly, this check is really nice. This is one of the like bread and butter FF checks. So I don't think there's much to it. ET Kill All. This is another A. Kill All Floor Masters. It's kind of okay, maybe I'll put it in B because it's annoying to do. But this check is nice because you get a really easy storage here. And actually, I want to find ET. Yes, this one. I think these two go hand in hand because this check, the open chest, is the reason that this check is fine. Because if you need to do kill all, you can always open this chest to get rid of your chest storage, and then you can do chest storage on this one. So these checks kind of work together. Like, they're fine. Yeah, we'll get to upper jail when we get to it, because that, I mean, I actually, if I can, and again, if I can find it, upper jail, but there are so many checks that it's hard to like pick one out of the crowd. Started by Boko, but I don't see. Yeah, no. Well, I think we'll find it when we find it. But yeah, so I think these two checks are fine though. These are some of the also easiest checks to get in Earth Temple 2. They're not that bad. I think maybe Kill All can go down one, but like I would say it's probably like a below B tier. These two are gonna be at the bottom of B tier, but I think they're B tier. I think like BPR. Actually, Mati Minibus probably goes over BPR. Well, we'll see. Wintel BK chest. Fuck this check. This check is so annoying. I mean, it's a sometimes hit, and it deserves it. Because, dear God, that check I mean, it's not that bad when you, depending on your circumstance, it's not that bad. The situation where this is really bad is if you don't have bombs, because then you can't do the reverse route, or if you don't have hookshot or you don't have bombs. Those are the two situations, because then you can't really do the reverse route in the storage. So it makes this check way more annoying because you have to actually bring Makar with you all the way to the big key room to like open up the Songstone. That makes this check really annoying. And even just normally, you have to do a I didn't really mention it for these, but you have to do a bomb push for this. You have to do a bomb push here too, and I'd argue like I feel for Kill All, I don't mind it as much. I feel for this one though, like I don't know why this bomb push specifically. One, well, okay, actually this one is worse because you're in an enclosed space, so the bomb push to get on alcove is really annoying to get because you're like in a small spot, and with the ET Kill All you can just slash the bomb away, so it's not that bad. This bomb push though is way harder, it feels like, and then you have to do the clip, and then you also sometimes have to like void out if this was something, and then you have to fight the Dark Nets, and the Dark Nets alone are really annoying too. So this check just has so many problems. I don't like this check. I think it definitely stays down there. Rat Room first chest. I think this one maybe a Stalfos Crypt. We'll get to Stalfos Crypt. That one I have words for. I think it's B. I should really make more tiers, honestly. I'm gonna make a tier of here. I'm gonna make another tier like here. I'm gonna make like a B minus. Because I want to make sure this doesn't get. Oh no! I want to make sure this doesn't get too cluttered. And this can be like an E minus. You go down there. I think these three can all go here. You can describe the tiers. I would say, like, if I want to think, these are the checks that are really easy to route, really fast, not that bad to do execution-wise. They're just really good in everything. Yeah, I think I would honestly throw all of these checks in B minus. Bro, Cheetos. Nice. You know, I'm gonna make an A minus too. Yeah, my main goal, like, I'm trying to get a few of these in because I want to like flesh out where checks are, and then I'm gonna compare them because like some of these checks are gonna be really not that interesting. So I don't know, but like. Yeah, honestly, Wind Temple BK could be lower too, but I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it here because it's not the worst. And there are a lot of situations like if you have bombs and you have hookshot, then this check's kind of easy. You just have to kill the Dark Nuts. So, but it's one of the most annoying dungeon checks in the game. For sure. Okay, so Rat Room. This one is a B. It's kind of like FF Jail. Actually, I should find the other Rat Room too, because these two make sense to do together. Both of these checks aren't in a bad spot. Like, you kind of just do them on your way through DRC, so they're not bad. They're kind of... And there's also two of them. Like, I don't know. I feel these checks, they're annoying in some respect, but, like, they're definitely not that bad. And the Rat Room itself isn't actually hard to get through. You kind of just have to not get unlucky and hope the Darknets don't, like, murder you. But, I don't know. I don't think it's a big deal here. It's this one. I think both of these are, like, roughly even. Goma Heart Container. I don't really know what to rank the Heart Containers. I'm going to put them in A. Because, the Heart Containers are great, honestly. Actually, maybe these go in S. I might be able to just get all of the Heart Containers and throw them straight into S. Because honestly, these are some of the nicest checks in the game. Now that they were added, they don't really break any routing. That's true. I can rank them based on the fights too. Maybe that's what I'll do to make it a little more interesting. In which case, your ass goes down there. Nah, You're like that. Well, okay, actually, there's a few other merits to rank these on, though. Because, let me just get all of them. There's this one, and there's a Godan. Where's Godan? I'm excited for when this like actually gets cut down a bit so I can actually see these. Goma is deceptively annoying. I definitely can agree. Just go in. Goma storage is cool. I've never done Goma storage. In the top row? No. 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 Godan just not here. Like, genuinely. I don't know. I'll find him at some point. So these. Okay. So Callie Heart Container, I think genuinely gets an S. Because Callie is by far the easiest boss. Oh, I think it's an A. Callie can be sometimes annoying, but like Callie is by far the easiest boss. And he's short. You do FW early, like in almost every single seed. So this check, like, it's not hard to get. And it's not like I'm gonna rank intentionally. I'm gonna rank Jawhala kind of low, and Mulgara, for the reason that they're such late game bosses that if anything is on these checks, usually it's a bad thing, because that means you just went through an entire. Well, actually, that's not true though. Okay, for Jawhala it is. For Mulgara, it's not. If something's on Jawhala Heart Container, it can sometimes be a really bad thing, and then it can sometimes be a really good thing. I would say on average, Jawhala's worse. Mulgara is usually fine now, because the one nice thing with like a Mulgara Heart Container Go mode item is it means that you couldn't have Go moded the dungeon. For Jawhala, that doesn't matter, because you do Jawhala on your first trip anyway, or like your first way through the dungeon. Mulgara, that does matter actually, because the difference between a Wind Temple Go mode and not Go mode is huge. So, and this is also one of the common Go mode dungeons, so I think Mulgara's fine, honestly. I don't think I'm gonna put it. I think I'll put it here because Mulgara's kind of an annoying boss, but it's not the worst. It's not the worst. Goma, it's not bad. I think it's the same. I mean, I don't like Goma as a fight. Yeah, Goma should not do 2 hearts of damage. It does so much damage. Or not Goma, Mulgara. It does way too much damage. But like, I feel Goma's the same way, is the same as Callie, where you don't do. I think Helmrock also. I'm gonna put Helmrock 1 lower because it's so annoying. Actually, maybe I'll put both these here. There's no like benefit to these checks. They kind of don't mean anything because you don't go mode these dungeons often, so they're not like impactful in that way. So I think this is fine. I think also, I guess Callie can go down here. I mean, okay, to be frank, I think none of the bosses are like that great checks. Mulgara is honestly maybe the best one, because knowing that you couldn't have go moded Wind Temple is really nice. So that's what I'll do for those. Okay, underneath Link's house, straight S tier. This check, it's just your outset set. So yeah, sometimes you like roll. I've accidentally like rolled into Mulgara before, and it's awful. They sure because the camera's terrible. Honestly, fair. The camera is awful, but like no, it's an S tier. I mean, it's one of the most like ubiquitous. Just you go here every time. W password fire. This is an A tier dungeon check. You're going to basement every single time. You see it before you do the other checks. So if it's like a key, you can always tell. If you get it, you can do like the bomb clip. This check's awesome. That's a good check. Skull's Room I. This one's a B, because usually this check is fine. Like 9 times out of 10. The one situation where it's not is if you don't have bow and you need to do this anyway, In which case, then you have to do a chest storage, and you have to save quit. So it's kind of annoying. Yeah, you have to do a bomb push sometimes. So I'm gonna rank this one lower. But like all the floor one at top G checks are mostly good because they have some good like rounding. Like getting a key in them is really useful. So I don't think it's that bad, but it sometimes can be a little weird. DRC first boarded up. This one, how do I want to rate this? These checks are deceivingly annoying because these checks are the reason that DRC Sphere Zero is a thing. And DRC Sphere Zero is one of my least favorite things in the game. It does make backwards route interesting. It's not that slow to get. Oh, yeah, that's true. It's not Sphere Zero anymore. It's early. It can be an early Sphere, though. These just mean these are the checks that are in logic before you get grapple. And that makes it really annoying. So, they're not my favorite. But this check on its own isn't that bad. I think I'll come back to this one, honestly. I'm not really sure. I'm just gonna throw it down there. I'll just let it turn in. This check. This one, I think I'll give an A-. When it comes to late windfall checks, this is by far the best one. It's not that long. B- for you. I maybe can, yeah, maybe it's a B. Well, it has really good synergy with Cafe Bar. I think I saw Cafe Bar. Maybe I should, throw that in. Yeah, here. Cafe Bar is like a D. Or maybe, it's either D or C. Because it's so slow. Yeah, it's just so slow, because you need to, like, mail the letter, which takes a while. You need to watch the gigantic-ass cutscene. Like, the only thing that I will give this check is it does have decent synergy with some other checks. It does have good synergy with Zunari. It obviously has really good synergy with Moblins. I think Moblins, yeah. I think a B- actually is where I think it goes. Because it's not a good check. Like, you never really want to do it, and a lot of the time you end up doing this check, like, without synergy. But in, like, a late game scenario where you have to do, like, Maggie's, Moblins, Zunari all at once, it's not that bad. At least Cafe Bar. But it's still pretty bad. Like, of the late windfall checks, it's one of the worst. So, letter from Tingle. All the letters are going to rank very high. Yeah, I'm going to post this on YouTube, by the way. I'm going to post it on YouTube. I can share the full tier list once done. Letter from Tingle. This is the worst letter in the game by a lot. I think it's a C. This check is so annoying. Money is never a big problem in Rando. At least in this Rando, because the max money you need in most seats is 65 rupees. And then whatever you need to mail, like, maybe not even 65, like 75 rupees. Because you would need 20 for Beetle, you need 45 for Zunari, and then you need 5 to mail each letter at Windfall. The problem with this one is that you need 201 rupees, and most of the time it's fine, because you get it's not uncommon to get random rupees from chests, but then sometimes you don't, or like you get a wallet really late, so you just don't get any money, and it makes this check really annoying. Like, if you ever have like a go mode on this check and you don't have the money, you have to like go do one of the annoying farming methods, and this game doesn't have very good money farming. It's all slow, so I don't know. I'm gonna put this one kind of low. Beetle shop 20 rupee. I guess on the money topic, I'll put it an A. It kind of buffs FF, yeah, but it's not in a good way, honestly. And also, it's wallet locked, and that makes it double annoying because it means wallet has an extra use, which previously it didn't. So, okay, so Beetle 20. This check's, I think it's definitely better than at that FW check. It's fine. It's an early game check. The problem is, early game money is sometimes a problem because it's easy to forget to get money. And there are some regions that have great, like BPR is great for money. Islet is great for money. Most of the combat caves are, But there are just certain situations where you can't get beetle in a while, like, or you're at a spot that doesn't have a beetle spawn. Windfall not having a good beetle spawn is really annoying because Windfall is like one of the spots where you would mostly go there, where you'd want it the most. So, and also you can get money in Windfall too. So I don't know. I think it's slightly below the like really easy early checks, but it is still like one of your early game staples. And a lot of it's lower. This one's kind of bad. I'm gonna put both of the Cabana Labyrinths low. I think they're both bad. Because Cabana Labyrinth is one of the most annoying regions in the game, just like without a doubt. That was Peak. Peak is also gonna be kind of low, but maybe I'm being too nice, honestly. Actually no. Letter from Tingle is definitely lower than this, I would say. Is Cafe Bar the same as these? No. Loki Gel Hollow though. This one can go down. Cafe Bar, you can stay. This is the worst of the two Cabana checks by a million years. Because the main thing is that you want hookshot for it, so it's just really slow if you don't have hookshot. And I mean, like, again, Cabana is not a huge region. Like, you do it, usually just do it because it has a lot of checks, but like, it's so late in logic, you need so many items for it, and so I don't know. I just don't think it's a great check. Either of them are, but well, I'll get to the other one when I get to it. Boating Course Cave. This is probably the easiest combat cave that was added. I'm not gonna, like, just warning, none of the combat caves are gonna go that high. I think this genuinely is not that bad though when it comes to them. I think the main reason is that if you're going to Forest Haven, it usually means you got Leaf. Like if you're doing the Forest Haven checks, that means that this pairs really nicely with it. Because it also doesn't need a projectile, but usually that's not a problem. But like it's not that bad to route into Forest Haven, and if you have a Leaf, you just do it. So I don't know. I think this check's fine. It is kind of annoying to do actually. That is the one thing. I don't like doing the cave, but I think for most aspects it's fine. Also, it's another way to route Angular, and Angular is one of the like most annoying places to route in general. So I think that synergy with Angular helps it a little. Stalfos mini boss. Oh god, this one's going low. This is no. This is F tier. No, this is straight F tier. ET Stalfos mini boss is one of the worst checks in the game, like by so much. It's not even an E minus. It's definitely F. This check is arguably the slowest. Like it takes so long to get this check. If you just do this check like on its own, this check takes forever. You need to do so much. This check it's gotta be one of the most logically locked checks in the game. Like the chance that this check has an item is like insanely low in general, but it's so far out of your way. It's in left side, so you don't need to always do it. If you want to skip the key, you have to do the really annoying key skip, and that thing is awful. Like that key skip is terrible. So that check is just, it's so bad. Like, it's also just slow. If you don't save quit out, it's like a minute to get out of the room. No, maybe not a minute, but like 45 seconds at least to get out of the room. It's just awful. And God forbid if you don't have hookshot. If you don't have hookshot, you have to actually fight him. That's even worse. So like, this check is terrible. Definitely one of the worst. Alright, behind Stonehead in Wind Temple. This one's like an A actually, or an A minus I'd say. Definitely better than Boating Course. Decent check. Yeah, there's nothing too crazy about it. The best thing it has is that it's early, you can peek it, like you can always peek it, so it's not that bad. The best thing about this check I'd say is also the chest storage potential. You can always store this check and use it to peek top of hub room, which is a really good strat. So there's that. You can also store this to do like the boss key skip, though usually you don't do that. But like you can do that. It's a good check. It's also one of like the easiest in Wind Temple, so You can peek it, so if it's like a key, it'll tell you a lot. So, boss stairs. These are hard to rank. Peeking top hub room is fat. It's only a strat that you do if 7 Armos is hinted. Then you do you'd peek this to see if you need to turn on the fan or not. If it's not required, then you don't have to turn on the fan. Okay, boss stairs right chest. These are weird, honestly. It's hard to rate these. I can actually put the dungeon secret here too. Nice. You go there. If I can find the other one. These all kind of go hand in hand. Yeah, here it is. So these two checks are really good, I'd say. The dungeon secret I'm gonna put one tier below, but it's gonna be at the bottom of B. Because they're right before Goma. The best thing they have is that you can store these chests. It makes that, like, DRC boss key skip is such a ubiquitous strategy. So it's not that bad. The only reason I'm putting the dungeon secret one thing lower is because you can't peek it. And that means that you can't, like, you have to actually go out of your way to get the dungeon secret to check if that's, like, your key or something, because that's an important thing with DRC. Oh, you can't shoot it. Oh, you know, no. Okay, then never mind. I learned something, yeah. Then it goes in the same. Then it's basically the same as the others. It's just an easy check at the end of DRC, so it's a really good check. Chest and hanging vines. I don't like this check. I think maybe Mothula mini boss can go up by 1. Because this check needs to definitely be below Mothula mini boss. This check is annoying. Maybe it goes in C. Yeah, I can be mean. I feel I'm not being mean enough. It might be the highest in C, but the fact that if this check is spiky, then you have to restore it, like you need to do the storage a second time, is so annoying. And if you don't have bombs, then that makes this check even worse. Because if it's like spiky, then you basically either have to gamble that top of like the next room is dead, or you have to leave mini boss and come back here, and both are really slow. So like, I don't know. My highest rated checks are like these, Drunus. They're like the tingle checks, like Tot, Cliff Flat. These are the really easy, like ubiquitous checks you do at the beginning. My lowest rated are like the obvious, like just super awful checks. So welcome on in. All right, Needle Rock Golden Gunboat. But yeah, so I think that this check isn't great though. Golden Gunboat. I don't like Needle Rock at all. Needle Rock is one of the worst regions in the game. And Gunboat, it's not good either. It's the problem with Gunboat. Needle Rock used to be at. I think Needle Rock got a lot worse this season in general. That's fine. We'll see about. To be honest, I don't think FM. No, it is that bad. I'm gonna put Ganamaze as the best here. I'm putting Ganamaze in F tier, but to be frank, it's not that bad. Letter from Bido 2. I'd still put it over these two. I don't think these two checks are worse than these two. DRI Cave saves it. I don't think DRI Cave saves it, personally. But yeah, so Golden Gumbo, I don't know. I don't like this check. The main problem this check has is that it has no synergy with Needle Rock at all. Because, so in Season 5 and Season 6, one of the nicest things is that when you had Fire and Ice, you can just go to Needle Rock. Needle Rock was basically just like it was basically just Ice Ring, to be honest. It was just Ice Ring. Because you get Fire and Ice, then you can complete the 2 checks. Gumboat killed that because now you don't want to go there until you have Fire and Ice, Bombs, and Grapple. So Gumboat really dragged down. I might honestly have to put it in D tier because like Gumboat really dragged down the other 2 Needle Rock checks. So I think it's really bad, honestly. This check, like, what it did to Needle Rock is like really bad. It made those 2 checks way worse. So I'm gonna put that one kind of low. Hop across, straight in E. I'm not gonna put an F because you can skip it sometimes. Like, I don't think it deserves F, but it is really annoying and it's really slow. I think from a like when I'm playing a seed, it's one of those checks that I just never want to do. It just feels awful to do. But like, yeah, I don't think it's that low. The check is honestly, I don't think it's that bad to route, because you just you skip it to see if it's a key, and then you go back in afterwards. The problem is it's just so slow, and that's not the only problem too. It can also have some annoying logic. Like if there's actually a required item on this, like bombs, or not bombs, but no, it can't be bombs. Yeah, bombs can be on hop across. Leaf can be on hop across. Like there's actually quite a few annoying items that can be on hop across that make it even worse. So I think I keep hop across here. Like season 6 scarred me on this check. I don't think it's nearly as bad with starting magic. I think that's kind of what saved it. Season 6 was like the hop across season, honestly, because you had to do like hop across was always annoying. It had, because you wouldn't have leaf, you always had to do it leafless. Going into top G without leaf or magic was such a common play. So now hop across sucks. I'm definitely keeping it down there. But yeah, I just don't think it's as low as some of these. I think creep actually might be ranked a little low too, but I'll reevaluate creep in a little later. Chest across lava pit. This is the one like after the first key door. This check's fine. It's like a B. Where did I put it? I think I'll put it with the other the rat room checks. It is always spiky. Yeah. I don't know, it's honestly one of the easiest checks. It's just nothing crazy. Like it's not great. It's not like the boss stairs that are like really nice. It's just there. Master Sword Chamber. Controversial B or F. It's awful. I know it's a meme, and it's like oh, you can gamble, but like genuinely Master Sword Chamber gambles are some of the more like annoying luck-based things. I mean, this check in its entirety is a gamble. Like that's all it is. The one thing I'm gonna say, maybe the one thing that is gonna keep it out of F for me is the fact that one, the Triforce change that did make it different, because sometimes it can actually have items like because Triforces aren't at the end of dungeons. In Maze Chest, because Maze Chest is more often hinted in these settings. Or not hinted, but I feel like it's had a lot more stuff in these settings because the Triforce change. And the nice thing about Master Sword Chamber is that it does have good synergy with Maze Chest, so that's gonna put it out of F tier. But it's still really bad. Like I think it's uncontestably like one of the worst checks in the game. Salvage Corp, straight S. Genuinely the best check in the game, maybe? Is that controversial? Maybe I'll have to see some other checks, but genuinely might be the best check in the game. It is so versatile to route. You can get it everywhere. I think it's top of S. Yeah, maybe it's not behind. Maybe it's behind the Tangles. Like, maybe not. Yeah, definitely better than Islet. I think Islet. I like Islet for a lot of reasons, but I think it definitely belongs at the bottom of S tier. Salvage Core is really good though. It's a really fast check. It's one of the shortest checks in the game. Like by time wise, it genuinely might be tied for like the fastest, because you just get it in certain spots. It's not bad. It's also part of C, and Grade C is a really useful place to have because like, or it's a really useful distinction to have because it's only 4 checks. So like a Grade C path hint is more likely to be on Salvage Core and therefore be easy to get. So this check is just good. Salvage Core definitely is one of my like favorite checks. This check, pre like big key alcove. What did I put BK? It's one. Is it one tier above VK? Maybe it's here. I think of it kind of similar to Hanging Vines Room, where this check's annoying because it's one of those checks that you end up just storing every time. Actually, maybe it doesn't belong here. Maybe it belongs here. It's not as bad as this check. Like, the amount of times this check fucks you over isn't that high, but the fact you always have to store it with Bomb Push just makes it annoying. Like, it's not a check that you're excited to do. And also, because the fact you always store it, it means that you can't always see its contents for like a little bit. So if it's spiky and you're 1 from go, you're gonna have to wait until you void out from in boss key room to see what you got, and that makes it a little worse. Like, in a weird way, its synergy with boss key chest makes this check worse, because it means you can't see it for a while. So I think definitely, like, I don't think it's that great. I think a B- or like a C is good for it. Chest room before mini boss, D. It's kind of this check, except even worse. Kind of. Actually, maybe it's bottom of C. No, it's D. I'm gonna put it in D. This is probably the most annoying check in all of FW, honestly. Just because, I mean, getting it is annoying, like going all the way up there. It takes a while. If you don't have chest storage, it takes even longer. Most of the time it's fine. Like 90% of seeds, you're gonna peek it and it's dead, or it's like you peek it, you get it, it's not a big deal because you have chest storage. But when you don't have chest storage, this check becomes annoying because it has really bad synergy with hanging vines. Because in the scenario that hanging vines is spiky and you don't have bombs, you need to either get this check, like the chest before mini boss, because if you don't have bombs or grapple, because that's honestly not that uncommon, not having bombs or grapple for FW. If chest before vines is spiky, and then you need to get, like, and you don't have bombs, you either have the option of not getting it, going to the next room, getting chest and mini boss, like before mini boss, getting that check, then going back to hanging vines room, which isn't good, or you just skip top of mini boss room. This check just, because of that, it makes this check so annoying, and it's one of the most, like, you just will sometimes have to skip this checks in FW, like that happens a lot. So I think it deserves like being really low. I really don't like that check. Transparent chest is Creeb but one tier higher because you can peek it. Genuinely, Creeb would be a lot worse if it wasn't for transparent chest. A lot of the reason that Creeb is kind of okay sometimes is that if you know transparent chest is spiky, it's gonna mean you're doing creep anyway. And so even though creep is slow, you know it's worth it. If transparent chest is not spiky, then it tells you nothing about creep, and that makes you want to do creep less because you know it's nothing. So I don't know. It's not good. Like this check, it takes a million years to do. It's really not fun. Like it's not a high tier check. It's also Fire and Ice locked, and Fire and Ice is not a good item to be locked behind. So it's not good, but it does make creep a little better. Tingle Jail, second item, that goes up here. It's just one of the Tingle Jail checks. DRI top boulder. I think this one gets an A. Generally, I think it goes above at this FW check. The check on its own isn't spectacular, but the way it synergizes with Fly Across is really good. Because if it wasn't for this, Fly Across would be one of the worst checks in the game if it wasn't for this check. But it turns Fly Across from like a terrible check to like a check that's fine. So it has really good synergy with the other checks. With the other check in DRI. So I think it's actually a really good check. And it's projectile locked, but like projectile locked means like bait bag, bow, boomerang, bombs. It's locked by one of those. And that's not bad. Like, of all the items to be locked, like, you have, like, 4 choices, so... That check is pretty good. Oh, Rockspire, Gumboat. I could do Rockspire both at once here. These checks kind of suck. I'm gonna say, B... I think the Cave is worse, is definitely worse than the Gumboat. I think the Cave can honestly get, like, a C. The Gumboat's not as bad. That's true, it doesn't have to swim, though. Yeah, I think maybe both these are C. Because, yeah, you never can really route these in. The only time you can really route this in is if you're going to, if you're either swimming there or is if you're getting Greatfish. But it's hard because Greatfish also, like, the problem with that is Needle Rock. Because you go to Greatfish and you can go to Needle Rock, or you can go to Greatfish or you can go to Rockspire. And if you have to do both, then it just makes the routing really awkward. So they're just not good checks. And the Cave, the one nice thing about the Cave is that you can swim to it. I think that's maybe what saves it from being a tier lower, because the Cave is really slow. And that's like my main issue with it. Gunboat's a little better, but then yeah, it nerfs the swim because it means you can't just like brain dead do the swim. Because Rockspire Gunboat is a problem. So both these checks aren't great. They honestly have room to go lower. Go to Boko. This is a really easy check. Where did I put lower jail? I think I can put lower jail one higher actually. I think these two are like your bread. Again, these are like some of your bread and butter FF checks. This one also synergizes nicely with Phantom Ganon because you can go from this check to the storage spot without bombs. So this is a really good check. Like for that reason, I kind of like it. ET Basement Dungeon Secret, F tier, straight F tier. Definitely the higher end. I don't think it's as... Is it as bad as Stalfos? Okay, it's better... There's gonna be so many checks in ET and F tier, by the way. This check is awful. When I say basement, I mean the one in like... It's the lower one. It's not the one in the second room. It's the lower ET Dungeon Secret. I don't really know what to call it. Sorry. But this one, it's really bad. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's really hard to get back down here if you need to come back later. It requires an item that's not required for anything else in ET except for the one other dungeon secret, so it's really bad in terms of logic. It also means that you have to go out of your way for it because it means like it slows down your Earth Temple routes. And because of that, like this check is just not good. It's in contention. Honestly, it's worse than Bido. I don't know if it's worse than FM. You know what? Genuinely, I think it is. I think it is worse than FM. Well, no, actually, no, it's not. This check has more potential to be awful. This check is always awful. That's what I'm gonna say. This check is sometimes really easy. That's the one thing about it. Fire Mountain is always gonna be slow, no matter what about it. Unless it's hinted, it's always slow. And even when it's hinted, it's still a really slow check to get. This check, at least, is fast if you have the right condition. But if you don't, then it's awful. So I'm gonna leave it down there. Many Cyclones. This one's pretty good, actually. Of the Wind Temple checks, I think it's kind of like Mothula Mini Boss. I think these two checks are kind of similar. Where there's nothing wrong about it. It's kind of just that check that's in the middle of the route you're doing, so like it's easy to route in. There's nothing crazy about it. It's kind of slow. Maybe I'll put these together actually. I'll put it next, like these two next to the rats. I think these are kind of similar. They're kind of just checks that like fill in the dungeon. Forbidden was first room chest. This chest is really good. I'm gonna put this one in A tier. Cause if this is like a bow or something, like the best case scenario for this check, usually like on its worst case scenario, you're going into FW with no projectiles. This is one of those checks that like sometimes it's just a projectile and saves your life. So this check just being there is like insurance sometimes. So I really like this check. I think this check, it's definitely better than Password Flower. Like this check is really handy. You can also peek it, so like if it's a key, you can tell if it's a key. So it just has so many good aspects. I think it's better than this too. DRI Top Boulder is not as good. Mesa's House, easy S tier. Actually, I put an A because it's a roll clip, and that's annoying. I wish Jaboons actually. I should just put Jaboons up there too. I'm gonna just deduct points because they're roll clips and they're frame perfect. Yeah, Jaboons is here. That's the only problem with these checks. Other than that, they're basically just under Link's house, except a little harder to do. But like Mesa, the only interesting thing with Mesa is sometimes you can route him in with Big Pig, but like that's not too common. So, but yeah, I think these two checks are pretty good. Left in Tree Trunk. Not gonna lie, I think it's fine. I think I'll put it here, top of B-. It's not the worst check in the world. It's kind of slow. It gets hinted a lot. It's actually it is kind of annoying that it's sometimes wasted sometimes, because like when it comes to things that could be hinted, it's one of the like least important ones. Like it's not too important if this check gets hinted, but it's not a big deal. Like it's not that slow. So I think it actually is similar to like the Kill All here. They're kind of out of the way, but they're also kind of not that bad. A letter from Bido's mom. I I think this one also gets a B. It's locked by delivery bag and note to mom, which makes it actually fairly like late in logic a lot of the time. It's not hard to get though. You just need to progress past midnight once, and that's usually not too hard. So I think I'll just leave it in B. It's not like a crazy check. And then also like letter from Bido. It just kind of has synergy with that check, and it will have synergy with every other mail too, because like playing sometimes you need to play for multiple mails. So like it's a good check. Fly across. It's hard to rank this one. Because if you told me on its own merit, it's straight F tier. It's one of the worst checks in the game. But because you have DRI top boulder, it's fine. So I'm gonna average it out to like a C. Because if it wasn't for a top boulder, this check would be terrible. But because you have it, like you never need to do fly across normally. Like that just doesn't. It never happens. So I think it gets a lot of points for that. The check on its own is bad though. Like it's a hard check to get. It's slow, but you peak it, so like sometimes you just don't need to do it. I think it averages out to like a C, maybe a B minus, because it's not that bad. But I would honestly say the biggest problem with this check, besides like if you're doing the chest storage, is that it's just a hard check to get sometimes. And also if you fail it. If you fail the strat to get this, then this check becomes a nightmare. So, yeah, if you fail it, maybe does it go one lower because of that? Actually, no, yeah, I think it does, because if you fail it, it genuinely becomes like what failing the fly across thing is one of the worst mistakes you can make in a seed. Like straight up, it's almost equivalent. Like I honestly can't think of another mistake that's as punishing. This loses you like 3 or 4 minutes if you mess it up. It's really bad. So I think maybe I'll put in D just because if you fail it, it's a really big problem for you. So I think that's where I'll put it. Bomb Island, it's E. I mean, I don't know. E minus. Yeah, I think it's an E minus. That's fair. I think it's I don't think it's as bad as Creeb. Or I think it's worse than Creeb actually. Sorry. I think it's worse than Creeb. It's just so slow. But it does have synergy with Ghost Ship. No, actually, okay. I will give this check points because it does have synergy with the regions around it. That's its biggest feature. The check on its own, like actually no, I don't think it deserves E minus. I think it deserves an E. And like a high E. Because like I don't know. I feel like Bomb Island Cave, you can usually route it fine. It's not a big deal. The problem with it is more so the execution. Like, actually doing Bomb Island Cave is annoying, but, like, it's not hard to route in anywhere. Like, you're around that region a lot. Like, when you just did Cabana, you can do it. When you did Ice Ring, when you did Forest Haven or Forbidden Woods. If you were just at, like, in the early game, too, if you get bombs or power bracelets and Cliff Flat BPR, you can easily do it. It's not hard to get. So, I don't know. I think I'll give this one some points. I don't think it's that bad. I think it goes here. I think that's where I'll put it. Alright, third crypt. God. I don't want to rate any of the ET checks highly. This one's low, for sure. Because, I mean, third crypt in general is really annoying. It's one of the, like, the scariest places in the game. Because if you mess it up too much, like... Actually, wait. No. Not anymore. I think it's a C. Okay, so this check used to be one of the worst checks in the game. Okay, it's a D. It's a D. Sorry. No, it's a D. The biggest problem with this check is that if you fail, or if this check is spiky, you need to void out and then do bomb push. Because you need to store this chest. You don't now, that's what it used to be at least. The good thing about this check now is when you void out, you get medley. And so the scary thing about previously doing this check is that this was your safety net, because if you messed up in third crypt before the medley change, then if you void out and run out of chest storage, you're fucked. You need to reset at that point. You can't do anything about it. Like, you're just screwed. Medley spawning with you actually helped this check out a lot though, because it means that like getting it isn't as much of a risk. Because if you get it, you can always just use Medley to open the Songstone instead. So this check is actually, it got buffed. Like, this check genuinely got buffed in the latest season. So I think it's not that bad. The main problem with it is that it's one of the most annoying bomb pushes to do in the game. Because it is like, you are right next to a wall, so the camera there is just awful. So that kind of holds it back a little bit, I'd say. Maybe, I think it was here. It's really just another bomb push. But, 7 Armos. I want to hate it. I don't think it's that bad. It's not that slow. You like the main problem with it is that you have to go all the way to the top for it, but like it's not a big deal. It has decent synergy with top of hub room, so like I don't know. I think it's just like it's a decent C. Bird's Nest. That's like a. Where the other? I think it's with Rat Room. These three are kind of similar, so. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's a big deal. Second room tree trunk chest. This is the one at the bottom. This check is actually really good, I'd say. I think it's kind of like Stonehead, because if it's something it's really easy to peek, and then if you get it, you can do a storage strat to get the other chest faster. So this check's actually really good. I think it's one of the best checks in FW. Genuinely, it might be here, actually. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's better than Stonehead. FW Big Key Chest. I'm gonna put a B-. It's not that bad. Like, when it comes to, yeah, I think it's honestly the same as Locked Tree Trunk. It's not logically interesting. Like, it does require Boomerang and Hookshot. But usually you're going into the dungeon with one of those items anyway, so it's not a big deal usually. So I don't know. I don't think this... And also, like, you can sometimes just logic out if this check is a key or not, so I think this check is fine. Like, maybe it's a tier lower. At least tier... Yeah, maybe it is a tier lower. It will be the top here, though. It's definitely, like... I think 7 Armors is also kind of at the top here. They're not that bad. First key deduction. That's why you do double Mothula before you go to basement. That's the strat you should be doing. Because that's how you, like, then you can tell. It's a little slower, but it definitely is worth it. Alright, Zunari. Yeah. Yeah. It's F tier. Like... Yeah, no. There are certain situations where Zunari isn't that bad, but this just has to be one of the slowest checks to get in the game. Like, it takes so long. You need money for it. You need delivery bag. You need to start it at Windfall, so you need to go to Windfall twice to do it. It's just bad. It's a, it's just not good. I don't know. During the day, too, yeah. Like, it messes with your thing, because usually, like... Because honestly, that's a big deal, because when you're doing a later Windfall trip, the main, like, 5, like, late game Windfall items are, or, like, Windfall checks are gonna be the Creep checks, Maggie and Moblin's Letter Delivery, and then Zunari. And I guess also, like, Pompey and Vera and Minenko. Usually, like, I find a lot of the time, I always have to play an extra Song of Passing because it's night, because I'm doing Creeb, and I need to turn in Zunari. So it's just not a good check. Like, this check is just terrible. I think it's a little worse than Letter from Bido. I don't think it's as bad as these, though. Is it worse than FM, though? It is worse than the ET Dungeon Secret, I will say. Is it worse than FM? I don't think so. I don't think it's worse than FM. I think I can leave those. Catch Killer Bees. These are hard to rank. Is it going to be controversial if I put it low? Because honestly, kids are like one of the... There's a reason that kids are kind of a meme. Because, like, the reason that LDC is such like a contentious thing is because these checks. Because you want to do these checks early, but they're just so slow. And like, because of Lenzo Dora cancel, like, here's Miss Marie, it's these two. They're just not good checks. Yeah, they're by far the worst Sphere Zeros. And you basically have to route your Windfall around them. But like, I don't know. Maybe I can put them in B-. They're not good checks. No, they don't. They're so long though. Like, they're the same length as like Fire Mountain, or maybe not FM. Maybe FM's a little shorter than that, or a little longer than that. But like, they're close. There's these on their own. These checks take 2 minutes. So that's bad. Like, that's really bad. 2 minutes for 2 checks. So I don't know. These checks are really low. I don't like these checks. Maybe they're at the top here of C. I don't think they're at the bottom of C, but they're bad. DRI Secret Cave. You know, I don't hate this check. It's definitely low though. I think it's an E, maybe. No, maybe it's at the bottom of E. Honestly, the biggest problem with this check is the Fire and Ice thing, I'd say. Because the fact that Fire and Ice makes it faster means you're going to want to greed out for Fire and Ice more often. And that just means this check is... It just means that sometimes you can get punished for doing this check. So it makes that, like, doing this check is sometimes not always the right play. And that's the main annoyance with it. It's also just kind of slow. But it's not that bad. Like, I don't know. It has decent synergy with the rest of, like, the checks around it, because you can, like, if you're going to pop it, you're gonna do this check too, because you're gonna have like strength item. So I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. Like, I think I'm gonna put it at the top here. It feels weird because I don't like DRI Secret Cave that much, but like, it's not that bad of a check, honestly. Maybe it's not as bad. I think Greyfish Ice might be a little better than it, but I think I can put it with Bomb Island, actually. I think that's where I can put it. It has some synergy with the stuff around it. It's just slow, and that's why it's kind of bad. I think that's a fair assessment. Maybe this one can go up though. Honestly, it could. Okay, Forest Haven on Tree Branch. I hate this check. I don't know. Ugh. Okay, there's some Season 6, like, trauma from this, because this check was one of the worst checks in Season 6, by, like, a mile. The amount of times this check had Leaf, or not Leaf, or Magic, was awful. And it can still have Leaf, and that can be really annoying. And the main problem I have with this is Grapple as a starting item is honestly not great, and this is the main reason. Because if you have Grapple as a starting item, it means you're gonna want to do this check early when you do Cliff Flat BPR. And this check on its own is really slow. The only reason this check is kind of doable a lot of the time is because you can pair it with Small Island. But like, this check has so much that Small Island doesn't have. Because Small Island is only leaf locked, you can peek it from the start. And isn't that slow? I mean, it's still slow, but like, the fact you can peek it makes it better. This check is kind of a shot in the dark though. You can't peek it, it takes a really long time to get. If it's early and logical, if this is an early logical item and like you need the item on Tree Branch to get leaf, that seed is automatically going to become really bad because you don't want to do this check early. It doesn't like, it's not good routing to do this because it just loses so much time. So this check's really bad. Honestly, I think I had to leave it here. It's weird because it doesn't feel like that bad of a check at a glance, but like, it's just so slow. Like, if it wasn't so slow, it wouldn't be that bad, but it's just such a slow check. All right. But then Trial Chest, straight S tier. Not because the check is all that amazing. The main reason it's so good is because you can use it to swim. And this is by far the best Super Swim port in the game. Like, you can swim to Star, you can swim to Rockspire, you can swim to FF, you can swim to Cyclos. The trick is Bottle. Yeah, but like, It's a sphere 0 check you can use to super swim places. I think it's S tier. I don't know. This check has so much versatility. I think it has to be at the top. And like the bottle is annoying, but also it's not a big deal because you can just get a fairy somewhere else. There's a lot of fairy spawns in this game. Like all the dungeons have them at the end, so just get a fairy in a dungeon. I don't know. I don't think this check. I think this check deserves S. ET first transparent chest. I'll be honest, it's not gonna rank highly because this check is annoying as hell to get, but it's one of the best checks in Earth Temple. Like, it's not that bad. I think it's a B. It's a really low B. Or no, it's the same as Floor Masters actually. That's what I'll do. It's not bad. It's good because you can store. You can use it to like do storage and stuff, and it's nice to have a lot of early checks in Earth Temple. But like, it's so slow. If you don't have Mirror Shield, then you need to use Medley. If you need to come to Earth Temple early, like early in Logic, this is one of the reasons why, and it's just annoying. So this check isn't good though, but it's not like I can't complain too much about it because when it comes to Earth Temple checks, it's not that bad. Your ET Mirror Room right chest. Okay, you know what? These are the best checks in Earth Temple. Where's Mirror Room other chest? Yeah, this one. These chests are fine. Because you can peek them so fast when you're doing basement. You just peek them and, like, genuinely they're fine. They are really quick. And it means that basement of Earth Temple, like, basement has by far the best check density of Earth Temple. You can get checks a lot faster in basement. So I think these checks are fine. Maybe they can go a little higher. Wind double tap a hub room. This is a good check. What is my cursor? Where is it? I kind of lost it. Wait. That's middle of hub room. No, we'll come back to it when we find it. Alright, anyway. DRC board up first chest. This is the one in the room with like the Bokoblin and stuff. This check's fine. I'd say it's like a B. It's with these. Like, it's not a crazy check. It's kind of just mid. DRC Dark Room. This is a pretty... I think this, honestly, there's kind of like a DRC tier right here. Because there's a lot of, like, unoffensive checks in DRC that are kind of like, Dark Room is not a crazy check. There's nothing really to it. It's kind of annoying to do, maybe. But it's not, like, it's in the route. Like, it's not bad. W second room dungeon secret. This check's actually pretty good. I kind of like this check. Again, this is going to be also in, like, this B tier of, like, mid. Because it's not amazing. It's kind of just, again, you just do it on your route. It's kind of slow, but it's not that slow. And it adds a check to a good dungeon, so it's not a bad thing. I think this check's fine. Big Pig. Ooh. Yeah, I'm sorry. Big Pig's going to the bottom. Yeah. This is, like, the one part of Outset that just isn't good. Like, I'd say in general, Outset as a region, it gets dragged down so much by Big Pig. To be fair, Bait Bag is required for Headstone 2, so it's not the worst because of the Bait Bag requirement. The problem's the Power Bracelets requirement, I feel a lot of time. Because Power Bracelets would be a useless item in most seeds if it wasn't for Big Pig. And I find Power Bracelets tend to be in, like, really weird spots. And the fact that you need both of those items in order to just do Big Pig means it's just not a check you, like, you often can do early. And there's also something to say, like, Bait Bag and Power Bracelets aren't required for any, Power Bracelets is required for Earth Temple, but that's it. There's no other, like, check in the game that's hard locked by Power Bracelets, which means that Power Bracelets isn't always early in Logic. It's not like bombs where a lot of Logic will rely on bombs, and so bombs will naturally be a little earlier in your seeds. Power Bracelets and Bait Bag can be anywhere. Like a lot of the time it feels like they're random. So that just means Big Pig has a super low chance of actually being like completable whenever you want to go to outset. And it has really bad synergy with Grandma too, because Grandma wants a bottle, which is another similar item. So like you basically have 3 random items which you need for outset. So this check genuinely I think gets E tier. It's so bad. It's worse than Creep. Like Creep you can at least route with some other things. You can't route this. This is just a like one of those super slow checks. You also need to like buy bait and stuff. Like it's not a good check. This check's really bad. Obviously we love Big Pig, but like this check just weighs down outsets so much. Okay, FWW Mothula, E minus Creep. Creep's not a good check. It's slow. I think Creep could maybe go to the same tier as Transparent, but I don't know. Creep is just such a... Actually, no. Maybe it's a little higher. These 2 checks are not great, though. They're slow. You need to set up the windmill. They are super late in logic most of the time, so they never really have anything. That's why like Creep is kind of such a meme. Bump Transparent. Just, yeah, I can do that. Creep is marginally worse than Transparent. I think this can go like here. Yeah, Creep isn't that bad. Alright. Double Mothula. Like A minus or an A. Where did I put these tier? It's basically the same as the boss stair checks. The reason this check is so good is because it has it can be a small key, yeah. The main reason I like this check is because you can store it, and it's basically like a free boss. This is basically just a boss key because you always store this chest to do the boss key skip. It's a little worse than these because you'd have to go out of your way to get it early, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it deserves the bottom of this tier, but like I feel disingenuous putting these checks higher than this because this check is still really good, and you can just go out of your way to get this like slightly early. Like this check is really similar to the Dungeon Secret actually too, where like you can go slightly out of your way to confirm key logic, and that's how you make this check really good. So I would say like I think these checks are fine. Mila, get your ass to the bottom. Fuck this check. Mila kills it's so annoying. I think we said Kids is the worst Sphere Zero. No, this is by far the worst Sphere Zero check, without like a shadow of a doubt. Because this is the one Sphere Zero check that you often leave to the end game because it's so slow. I don't know how long Mila takes to walk. I think it's like 2 minutes or something. But you just have to sit there and, I don't know. I feel like you just have to sit there and, if you have, like, okay, my main problem with this check isn't even the speed. It's that having Fire and Ice just makes, like, this check is it feels Fire and Ice locked. Because you never want to do this check unless you have Fire and Ice. And that's the problem, because it's a Sphere Zero check that you don't want to do until like you want to. It's a Sphere Zero check you want to greed for. That's never a good thing, because that means like if this is something, then you might just be leaving it till your end game. So I don't think it's good. Interesting strategies. Mila can be hinted. I do not get a lot of Mila hints, personally, but. Greet Mila. It is very good to greet Mila. Greeting for Mila saves a lot of time. Like, in the fun show again. Yeah, this one is also like very low on the fun count. It's one of the most boring checks in the game. Yeah, MSC is definitely at the higher. Is it at the higher? No, I'm gonna put MSC in F tier actually. I don't think it belongs with these. I think MSC is like a special kind of shit that deserves F tier. These 3 are kind of similar. I don't know, man. I think Hopper Cross is better than Big Pig. I don't know. This check sucks. Cause you want to wait for Fire and Ice. I don't know. I don't know. For me, at least, this is just one of those checks that's always impossible to route, it feels like. So I'm gonna leave it there. I honestly... And like I don't want to keep going because genuinely I think I might put it lower if I keep thinking about it. Because like the more I think about it, the more I don't like it. So, all right, letter from Kamali's father. Oh no, I typoed. Damn it. Whatever. Letter from Kamali's father. This one's of the letters. It's probably one of the best letters, honestly. It's an item letter, like a lot of the like easy ones. Pharaoh's Pearl is like a fairly easy item because it's required for Tachi, so like you get it a lot sometimes. I feel this check's just really good. Also, like this can be patented for Tachi sometimes, and that's not bad. Like you just get a free letter for Pharaoh's Pearl. So I think this is. You know what? Maybe I'll put an A tier. Yeah, I think it deserves an A tier. It's just a really nice check. And you also do need. I don't think you need to progress to Knight for this check. I think this one just needs a reload. So that makes it even better. Because like one of the issues with Note to Mom mail is that you need to progress the Knight cycle. This one you can just leave a room and then you can get it. So this one's good. Popper open cave chest. This hard to rate. I think this one gets a B. Ish. It's not like a big deal. This is easily the best chest in all of Paw Print, but like, it's not bad. It's not good either, but it's not bad. The problem with this check, I feel, is that if this check is something and it's one of those seeds where you don't get anything for Paw Print, this check becomes awful. Having a Sphere 0 here is not great. But usually you go to problem with something, and then in that case, it's just like an extra check. So maybe I don't think I want to give it an A-. I think it belongs here. I think this is fine. I think it's kind of like Wind's Requiem on it. I'm gonna put Wind's Requiem next to it. These two checks are kind of similar, I'd say. Where like they're good, but the fact they're Sphere 0 can kind of like mess with you sometimes. But I think bottom of B tier is like good for these. B- for you, yeah, maybe. I think these two, like, I don't think these are bad enough to put in B- though, because like these checks are annoying. This check is really easy to get. It's just because the like situation around it is bad. I don't know. So wait, did I put Boating Course up here? I'll have to rethink that. I don't know if Boating Course is up there. Okay, Forest Haven Small Island. This check's good. This one I am gonna. It's either a high B or a low A-. I think it's an A-. The main thing with this check is that it has great synergy with the rest of Forest Haven because you can like put it in with Tree Branch a lot. Tree Branch to go. Here, I'm gonna like be reordering this like a lot because it needs to be perfect. Tree Branch. Yeah, that. It has good synergy with that. The difference that makes this check so much better than Tree Branch is that you can peek it. And like there's such a big difference between a check you can peek and a check you can't peek. Because like if you know this is spiky, then oh, okay. You can just go there and it's maybe like your go mode or something. Like it's just good to have that info, which is the Tree Branch hate. The fact that it's Sphere 0, or not Sphere 0, but the fact that if you have grapple, it's open, but when you, like, it's logically only grapple locked. So, it's really slow to get with just grapple. Like, that's a terrible play getting it with just grapple, but then sometimes you have to, and like, in situations where Leaf is locked by or on Tree Branch, you just hate yourself. Like, it's actually awful. The Windwaker Dive is annoying too. It's just so slow. The check is really slow, you can't peek it, it doesn't have good synergy. Well, okay, it kind of has okay synergy, but like the fact you can't peek it makes it so much worse. But honestly, I would say for Small Island, the only thing holding this check back is Tree Branch, because if you peek this dead, it would be really nice if you can peek this dead and not have to worry about Forest Haven checks at all. But the fact you still have to do Tree Branch doesn't make the peek as worthwhile. If this check hints dead, it's not a big deal. If it checks as something though, then it is a big deal. So. This check is really good, though. I think this check in general has a really positive effect on the entirety of like Forest Haven as a region. So maybe it deserves a little lower. Yeah, I think maybe bottom of B. I don't know. It doesn't feel like I feel putting it this way. Also, Boating Course has to go down. I think I get what I was getting at, but it's not that good. I think it gets like a high B maybe. Sorry, I love boating course, but like it's not an A minus. When these are the checks in A minus, I don't think it belongs in A minus. All right, Star Island. Yeah, this one's kind of bad. I think it's a D tier. It's not like gutturally terrible like these checks. I feel like all of these checks have specific things which make them annoying. This check is kind of just like another fire mountain, honestly. Like, it's not good. It's so slow, though. It's so slow. No, this one has to go lower. Yeah, it's not... The one okay thing about it, like, I think the thing that makes it better than FM is that it's not... For one, it's not as bad to logically route in. Because FM needs fire and ice, and this just needs like a strength, which it's way easier to get strength. So for that, it's better. Like, I don't want to put it with these, but I think I have to. It's just so slow. Like, I think it's slower than Hop Across. No, it's definitely slower than Hop Across. Like, it's as slow as FM. And that's a problem. Like, I rate FM really lowly, and if I'm rating that lowly, I have to rate Star Island low too. And you can say, like, yeah, you can route it in with half your seeds, but then, like, you can kind of say the same thing about Fire Mountain with D or C. So, I don't know. It's not a good check. The fact you can swim to it is nice, but, like, again, the problem is it's just so slow. I guess my only one benefit is you can get a joy pendant there really easily. It's one of the easiest spots to get a joy pendant in the game. Is that enough to bump it up? I don't know. Environment placement is criminal, I can't believe this. Guys. Hop of F. I guess. Being peer pressured, it feels like. I don't know, I really don't like Fire Mountain. I feel it's such a bad check, but I don't know. Yeah, Star Island sucks though. I think of like this. I don't want to hate this check. I kind of like this check, but like, God, it's so bad. Like it's just not a good check. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, it does. I do. I seriously no, but I can't put it out of F tier. Like it's such an F tier check. I'll see at the end. Maybe at the end I'll have a change of heart. Okay. Next up, Dungeon Secret near Warp Pot in ET. Where did I put the other one? It was here. I think it's an F, or it's an E. E minus or E? I think it's an E maybe. The main reason this check isn't as bad as this one is that it's just not that hard to go get. Like if you need to go back into the dungeon and get it, it's really at the beginning. I think it maybe goes here. I think this is fair. Because it's not that bad, like it's not that hard to go get. It can be an easy small key, that's fair too. Because actually it is sometimes a problem in F and ET where like you want a small key, but you store it instead of actually getting it. The fact you can get this without killing your storage is really nice. I think I'll put an E. Honestly, I think it deserves an E. I don't think it's as bad as this one. This one is like really egregious. This one is just it's so bad. This one's not as bad. I feel more often than not I can get it without a problem, but it's not great still. Nah, I think E minus now. I think that it's not that much better than this one. So yeah, I don't know. And this is one of the worst checks in the game. So. Alright, Breakable Floor's right chest. Can I just get both of these at once? Where's the other Breakable Floors? I'd put these in B. These are like again, B is kind of becoming my like mid-tier, I guess, of like checks that are kind of inoffensive. They don't really do much. These checks are just They're slow, but they're not that bad. You can peek one of them from the start. I don't know. Punching if you fall down. You know, this is what I'll do. I'll do this. Because the left chest is the one you have to actually break all of the floors for. One thing you can do is if you peek right chest is something, then you can just go straight to it. Left chest is the free one? Oh yeah, wait, no, you're right. It is left chest. Sorry. Yeah, I think left chest is the better one. Right chest is a little worse. And if you don't have bombs, then it's really annoying. So yeah, I think this one can get a tier low. Do you see pot upper shelf? Pot room upper shelf dungeon secret. This is the one in the pot room. This chest is fine. This check is fine. I'm gonna put it with the rest of the like mid DRC checks too. Like, again, this is the DRC section, honestly. This check is completely inoffensive. It's not crazy. I wonder if can I get pot room chest too. This one. The only thing that makes this chest stand out a little more is that you can sometimes use it to store. See, like when you're going backwards, you can sometimes store it and then get through backwards with it. Maybe I'll put it in A-, because that actually is a really good use. Because yeah, I think that's fair. I think I'm gonna keep this because you can sometimes use it to do backwards DRC fully if you don't have like bombs or hookshot. That's a really good. Oh wait, you can take the machete with you. Never mind. Sorry. Okay, never mind. I lied. That with that change, it got nerfed, I guess. Because yeah, that was the old try. I guess now you wouldn't do the storage though. You just take the machete. Okay, never mind. Yeah, this is the one where you have to climb to the top of the Boko Babas. This is another. Where did I put a? It's like here. This again. This is just another basic dungeon check. It's not crazy. There's nothing really to it. You just kind of do it. You can peek it fairly easily. It's kind of slow, but it's not that slow. There's a storage strat if you do the bottom chest. It's fine. Golf. Ooh. I can do both the horseshoes together. This check is hard. It's definitely not gonna be high. So first things first, cave is better than golf. I'm gonna say this straight up. The main reason I say that is because you can get cave sphere 0 sometimes. If you have a situation where golf is hinted dead and cave is not, you can do cave sphere 0. That's a pretty good thing about it, I'd say. This is one of the hardest checks in the game. Because leafless golf is hard, and if you fail it, it's punishing. I think that, honestly, I think these two placements could be fine. Hey, golf hard too, yeah. Like, I don't like these checks. I think they're both not great. Again, I think cave is better than golf. Yeah, I think this is fair. Alright, Pompey and Vera. I so want to put it in F tier. Genuinely my least favorite check in the game. E max. This check is terrible. Again, the problem with this check isn't necessarily that it's that slow. Because in certain situations, if you didn't have Lenzo Door Cancel, this check would be fine. It just means Picto Box unlocks 3 checks. Lenzo Door Cancel ruins this check. Because you take a trick that would otherwise be amazing, like Lenzo Door Cancel is a great trick, and you kinda kill it. This check has such a negative impact on Lenzo Door Cancel that I hate it. I don't know if it belongs in F, but I feel like it kinda does. It's so slow. It's... especially if you don't have Leaf, it's really slow. Like, you lose 20 seconds if you don't have Leaf. It does make things interesting, but like, is it a good thing? Yeah, I think it would be E-. Like, I don't know. It's not like... this is just one of those checks that's so consistently annoying. Because if you're like, no matter what you do, like, Lenzo Door Cancel is one of the most... I'll be frank about it, like, Lenzo Door Cancel is one of the dumbest things in the game. Because you have It's like it's basically a choice. You can do it and potentially save 1 billion years on seeds where it's like where something required's on there, or you cannot and save a little bit of time, but then risk the entire seed that lens of door cancel had something. The fact that that exists makes this check automatically kind of bad because it's kind of caught in the middle. But no matter what side you do it on, this check is never gonna be great. It's still like no matter what, it's slow. It's just if you don't do lens of door cancel, then it pairs more nicely with the Rao. But like, this check is just so bad. I think this check is also worse than Mila because wherever I rank Mila, Pompey and Vera has to be below it. Because Pompey and Vera, even though it's not as slow, it has such a bigger, like, the logical, like, impact this check has is so big. Like, its footprint is, like, felt throughout the entire game, so... It's just bad. Like, I don't know. This check is terrible. I think it belongs there. Okay. Miss Marie... It's bad. It's a really stupid check. There's a lot of problems with this check. Very seed dependent. It is very seed dependent, honestly. That's a good way to put it. I mean, a lot of things are, but this seed feels way more. Because, yeah, it's funny because you'd think that getting spoils bag early would be a good thing, but it's not. You want spoils bag being early is usually a bad thing. Because, so, like, how it kind of works, this almost turns into a mini Lenzo door cancel. Because... if you get spoils back early, there's a joy pendant spawn on Windfall that you can get. The problem is it takes like a minute. It's really slow. So you don't really want to get the Windfall spawn. You want to get a spawn from like killing a Boko or like grappling a Bokoblin or something. But that means that you're potentially putting off this check until later. So if you have like an early spoils bag seed, you can sometimes have a weird situation where like you go to Windfall and then you have to gamble if you want to do this check or not. So it's kind of bad. I would honestly put it lower because that is such a bad problem with it. I can't put it lower though because it's so fast. Like the one good thing about this trick is that if you have a seed where you get spoils bag and like you like are in DRC with grapple and you can just grapple a Boko, then this seed is fine. Or not seed. This check is fine. You just do it. Like, you just go to Windfall, and it's one of the fastest checks on Windfall. That's why it's not that bad, I'd say. Because on the seeds where it's fine, it's almost like it's better than, like, Tot. It's really fast. And in, like, a Go mode situation, it's one of the fastest checks to just go, like, quickly knock out on Windfall. But other than that, like, it's not great. I think maybe it can go higher. Can it, though? Is it higher than Creeb? No, I don't think it's higher than Creeb. Is it worse than, like, Golf? Or Bomb Island? Yeah, no, it is. I don't know. It's so bad. Again, it's not always bad. The problem is, like, the situations where it is bad can be terrible. And that's the problem with it. And it's RNG dependent. And that's another annoying thing about it. There's no other check that's as RNG dependent. Because, like, if you don't, like, sometimes you just won't get a Joy Pendant spawn from random stuff, and you won't get Grapple, and then you just can't get a good Joy Pendant anywhere, so... I don't know. Angel Hollow Heart Container is, like, the weird middle. I'm gonna put this at the end. But... I think I'm gonna leave it here. I think it's really bad. Alright, letter advertising bombs. Where did I put... Komali. It's the same as Komali Mail. Except with a more useful item, but like it... I mean, I guess I can technically put it above Komali Mail, but... I mean, these both are really good. Not much to say about it, it's just another really good mail check you can get as soon as you get a useful item. Pupper Cave left chest. Okay, so important distinction. This is the one that you can get out of Logic. This check... I would say is an A-. Because the fact you can use this check to peek everything else in Popper, like in Cave, is really, really, really good. If you couldn't peek Scale the Wall, then Popper would be a way different place. The fact you can use, like, you go into this check lets you peek Scale the Wall, is so useful. I'm definitely like, I think it even it's weird to put it. Okay, maybe it's the same as Popper and Open Chest, because it basically is just Popper and Open. No, it has so much better though. Nah, this chest is really good. But Skill the Wall's always spiky. Yeah, this just opens up so many good opportunities for you. So this check is really, really compared to the other two. Like where are the other? I can get the other Popper checks now, honestly. Let's like Scale the Wall and where's the other one? Here we go. Popper and right chest is like not good. I think it's a C. So it's not that bad. Because it requires either strength or leaf. That's not that bad. And you can peek it. It's kind of an annoying peek, but you can peek it. It's just not great. I would say it's obviously way worse than the other ones. It's not like the worst check in the world though. Because that's Scale the Wall. Scale the Wall is a D or E tier, probably. I think it's an E tier. Where do I want to put it, though? I think top of E tier, honestly. Still D. I feel it's very similar to these checks, though. It's just one of those checks that is just... Actually... Well, okay, it's better than Creeb. That's what I can say for sure. It cannot be worse than Creeb because you can peek it. That's the biggest deal with it. If you couldn't peek this check, it genuinely could be F tier. Like, it would just be one of the most annoying checks in the game. But the fact that you can peek this check does make it better. Like, a lot better. I think it's kind of like Greatfish. I think it could be here. Because I think Greatfish chest is a little better than it too. Because it's faster. Actually, no, it's not. No, I think this is fair. Because I don't think it's worse. Is it better than Horseshoe Cave? It's kind of like Transparent Chest, I feel like. Where being able to peek it does makes it so much better than it otherwise would be. Because they can tell you if you need to go back or not. And then if Wizard of Cave is hinted dead, then it's not a big deal. So I think this is fair. Very annoying without a projectile. It is. But also, like, again, the fact you can do it Sphere 0 is really nice, though. So I still like this check. It's better than I like Gull. I don't know. I think I'm gonna leave it there for now. Ice Ring Outer Chest. I think I'll put it A-. Yeah, A-. It's inoffensive and fast. It's just like the other Ice Ring checks. The best part about it though is you can peek it. Especially if it's not a common strat you do, but you can peek it. And if you like start on Ice Ring, and yeah, it's one of the quickest checks you can do. Like, it's really, really fast. So I think it's a good check. No, I'm gonna say it does feel like it's nowhere never spiky, but like, I'm gonna leave it there. I think it's actually a pretty good check. I think I'll put these at the top here. I think these are both really good checks. Ankle. Ooh, ankle. I don't want to put it low. I don't think it's a low check. I think it's like a B, honestly. Here's the thing, right? It's kinda like, the funny thing with ankle is ankle is basically a forced progression item. If you get all your tingle statues, this is the first place you go always. It's a really weird situation because there's no other place in the game besides maybe Mother and Child where you just warp somewhere and get a check. Like, there's no like routing to him. You just, when you get all the tingle statues, you go to ankle. Yeah, I think he might get an A. Yeah, the rupees too. I think he gets an A-. Is he an A? And he's so fast too. Yeah, I think he's an A. Yeah, I just raised him up a lot. He's just so fast, and if you have to do him, he's like, you get so much money. It's almost always a required item, so like, I think he's good. That's true. You can also round and rock spiral with him, so yeah. I think he deserves it. That's a good check. Okay, Wind Temple top of Hub Room. I think this one's a B. It's definitely one of the more inoffensive Wind Temple checks. It's not as bad as 7 Armos. Where did I put 7 Armos? I put it in C. You know, if I put that in C, I'll put this in... No, because you can peek it. No, the peek makes this not that bad, actually. It's 7 arms, but better. And it's... And, like, to be fair, it's 7 arms, but, like, marginally better. You can peek it immediately. And when you go up there, like, it takes, like, 5 seconds to get. So, like, no, this check is a lot better. The ET right side transparent chest. This is the one in, like, right side, like, the first one that... this check's fine. I'll leave it in B because you can store it, and that it's a good storage spot. Ooh, okay. Here we go. Stalfos Crypt. Definitely... Is it F tier? There's a few distinctions with this trick. Or not this trick, this check. The biggest problem with this check is it's mirror locked. This is the only, like, pretty much hard mirror locked check in Earth Temple. But honestly, I don't think it's that bad. There's a few things with it. The main thing is that if both other, I mean, okay, you can get a mirrorless, but it's so bad to get mirrorless that you basically will never do it. Like, that, it's just, like, one of those, like, basically non-factors. Like, you just don't do this check mirrorless. But, so, okay, the biggest thing with this check, there's a few things with it. If you enter the boss key room and leave it, it'll actually open up Stalfos Crypt for you. That's a really nice thing. That's one of the reasons I don't think it's as bad. You can also, if you know that Big Key Chest is dead, you can also do a roll clip into there. Or, like, not a roll clip, you can do a bomb clip. It's not even that bad. Honestly, you have a lot of space, so... It's not that bad. Like, I don't know. It's not a good check. I almost want to move it up to E, though. Like, I honestly don't think it's that bad. Because, like, Stalfos mini-boss is bad for so many reasons. And I don't think Stalfos Crypt has those same reasons. It doesn't have... It's not super far out of the way compared to the rest of Basement. Like, if you're going to Basement, you'll just do Stalfos Crypt. It's kind of slow, but, like... I don't even think it's as bad as Hop Across, because Hop Across is like you need to re-enter the dungeon. Also, Hop Across should probably be a little lower, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll go through the order at the end. I don't know. I think honestly, it might be a low E. I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't think this one's that bad. Okay, FW Hole in Tree. Can I put this one in S tier? Genuinely one of the best chests in the game, because this is your universal chest storage. Maybe not S tier. I think A tier though. This is such a good check. Like, it's on the way. It's really fast. It's a perfect spot to get chest storage. Like, you don't need to carry it from other parts of the dungeon. It's such a good check. Like, genuinely, I think if it weren't for this check, FW routing would be a lot worse. Like, I think I can like actually make a case for this. Hole in Tree is just such a good check. Bumble Walt Chest. This is the one in like the first room and like in floor 1. It's fine. I think it's like it's a mid. I don't know. I kind of like this Islet placement. I think Islet's in a good spot. Minenko. Ugh. Okay. Positives? It's really fast. Negatives? Deluxe Picto Box. But it's not that bad. I think it's like a C tier, maybe. Is it though? Or a B minus? Maybe it's a B minus. The main problem with it, honestly, is it? Maybe it's more. Yeah, I think it belongs here. I mean, if it wasn't so fast, the problem is it's just so fast. You knock it out and it literally takes 10 seconds. And like if you're going to Windfall, it's like the first thing you do. The only reason I think it might not go higher is because again, Deluxe Picto Box. and then she only spawns at the day or during the day. So you need to like sometimes you need to play Song of Passing, but like playing Song of Passing isn't also always a bad thing because you can progress like male cycles. I don't know. I think Minenko's fine. You can chill there. All right. Lenzo left us. Let me just do the 2 Lenzos at once. How in the hell do I rank these? I feel like... These chests are like troublemakers. These checks cause so many problems. Again, Lenzo Door Cancel's the main one. Like, oh, I'm gonna get some water. Yeah, Lenzo Door Cancel is a problem. But like, they're good checks though. If you do Lenzo normally, they're kind of mid. I think a B- is fine for these. Because they're not that bad. It's just the fact that Lenzo Door Cancel exists, but like, I think it's worse for Poppy and Vera, because like, with Lenzo Door Cancel, it's just you do these checks or you don't. That doesn't really make these checks worse, it just makes this check worse. So I think it's fine. I think Lenzo's, the 2 checks are fine. Okay. Letter Advertising, Rockspire. I think these just, yeah, these are the same as the other males. That's true. I mean, yeah, if one of these checks didn't exist, LDC would be a lot less worth it. But I don't know. I think they're fine. But yeah, that was just a male. Wall of males, it's a male. Like, there's nothing crazy about it. Icewing First Cave chest is like the first layer of the cave, I guess. This one, where did I put inner, Icewing inner, or outer chest? Did I put an A-? I think it's the same. It's the same logic, like, you need the same amount of items to get this. And I don't think logically, but like, at least just in general. No, you do need the same logically, yeah. So these checks are basically the same. It's a little slower, but like, it's not that slow. You just gotta go inside. You know, I think you're fine. I think these are fine. Yeah, Icewing of movement can be a little annoying sometimes, but like, the checks are fine. And it means that Icewing's a little bit beefier as a region, so... Alright, Headstone. Ooh, this is not gonna rank highly. I think it goes in D tier. Maybe at the top, though. Yeah, this is a really interesting check. It's bait bag locked. You don't technically need bait bag, but like, there's a way to get on top, but it's really slow. Like, you don't really do that. I don't know. It's kind of mid, but like, it's really, it's not that slow. You can peek it, but it's out of the way. Like, I think the main problem I have with this check is that it's kind of just far out of the way from everything. Because, like, if you go to Outset, right, like, unless you're doing Octo... To be fair, Octo Fairy did buff this check a lot. This check was a lot worse without Octo Fairy. Yeah, 2-Eye Reef does help it a lot. It's not that isolated anymore. So, yeah, I think this might be... Maybe it goes 1 up. No, but it's bad, though. It's bait bag locked. I don't know. But yeah, you can do, like, yeah, Big Pig, Headstone, Octo Fairy, Angular Boating Course. That is, like, a commonly done route, so, like... I'll throw him here. I think that's fair enough. Maybe if he can go up, like... Can... No, yeah, because it feels weird having it as the same tier as, like, Fly Across, or, like, Transparent Chest, or, like, Headstone. No, but it's kind of bad. This is what I'll have to think about this one, but I think it stays here. Alright, ED. Destructible Walls is the Mirror Shield locked one. It's not technically Mirror Shield locked, but... I'll put this one in B tier. It's nothing crazy. The main thing about it is that it's just your storage thing. Like, you just get storage with it. So, I think it's mid. It's kind of not crazy. Maybe it deserves one lower because it's mirror shield locked. You can store another chest and then hookshot your way into the thing. But then you would have to waste a chest search for that. I think it goes B-. Because it does have a few annoying situations. But it's not that slow, which is nice. But... EG big key chest. I'll be honest. This check gets a really bad rap because the roll clip. I think it's like D. If the roll clip didn't exist, this would be the worst check in the game by a lot. But like, I don't know. I think it's fine. It's not that slow. You can peek it. If you do it last, like... Yeah, I don't think it's that bad in terms of ET. I think it's fine. I don't think it's great. Like, I think it still deserves a D tier because the roll clip. Actually, no. Maybe it's a C. Is it better than Headstone? I think Hit and Headstone might be, like, close. It's just fast. It's not that slow. Again, the biggest problem with it is that you need to learn, like, a really annoying roll clip. It's more like, do you worry about the execution of it or the actual check? I think it's fair here. I think this might be fair. And also, like, to be fair, if you don't have Leaf, if, like, Leaf is on this check, then it's actually the worst check in the game. It does have the potential to be the worst check in the game. Being basement is... It's true. Yeah, basement is kind of, like, a bad spot for it, but... It does also have synergy with Stalfos Crypt, though, because... You can, do this into Stalfos Crypt and open the, like, the wall, so I think it's fine. Wizard mini-boss? It's really low. This check sucks. I don't know, like... how low do I want to put it? I don't think it's as bad as some of the checks below it. It's not nearly as bad as Stalfos mini boss. It's not as egregious. Inversely proportional to how many bows you have? Yeah, it kinda is. Cause like... Yeah... The main issue with this check is it's slow. And it requires a key, so you either have to do a key skip or use one of your keys. So it's not great. It's not like an amazing check. And it's really slow. I don't think it's that egregious. As egregious enough to put in an F tier though. It's just a really annoying and slow check. And also has the problem if you don't have hammer or hookshot, you have to save warp out of here because you can't get out. That's another really big problem with this check. But like, I don't think I can put it on the same tier as like the ones below it. Can I even... I don't know. I think this... No, it's better than Hop Across, honestly, though. I will say, it's better than Hop Across. I feel like Hop Across generally is a worse, like, really long check. DRC mini-boss? You can peek it, but you can only peek it, like, kind of as you do it. It's not great. I think it's like a D. Yeah, you can peek it, but it's like, it's such a dumb, bad peek. Think it's that bad? Is it that bad? E-? It kind of is, though. It is slow. This check is really slow. Yeah, I think it could be like around here. I think it's similar to Stalfos Crypt, honestly. It feels worse than Stalfos. Honestly, I feel DRC mini boss is a little worse than Stalfos Crypt. Maybe they're like even. I don't know. These two are really bad though. Yeah, you can like get chest storage and void out, so it's not the worst, but like I don't know, it's still not great. Morth Pit. I'll put this in actually A-. Actually, I think all of the FW, like the Vine Maze. The Vine Maze is one of the best regions in the game when it comes to like check density. Like there's so many checks in such a little time. All those checks are pretty good. Those are gonna all rank highly. Diamond Step. I'll just get the 2 Diamond Steps. Where's the other one? The other one. I don't know, we'll find it. This chest... Diamond Step's a weird region, because it has problems. Diamond Step early... It's slower, but it's not like you're doing, like, Hammerless Cabana. Like, it's not that slow. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah, no. I'm just gonna leave this in. I think B. Maybe I might. No, I don't know. Like it's. I'll just leave it here for now. I don't really know, honestly. Bumble Dungeon Secret. I used to think this was awful, and then I learned the other strat for it, and now I think it's fine. I'm gonna put it in C because it's kind of annoying to do still, but it's not that bad. It's fine. Juicy first chest. Genuinely an F tier. Like, this one's gonna be weird. I'm gonna put it at the top of F tier, just because this is the one chest in the randomizer that's not randomized. This is always a key, and it will never not be a key. So in a randomizer, it's kind of garbage. Like, yeah, low-key F. It's obviously not as bad as, like, these checks actually was, but, like, this check is nothing. It's not a check. This is basically just, like a puzzle or something, because you do this and you get the same item every time, so, like, it's kind of shit. Letter from Orca. So I rated Letter from Bido insanely low because Earth Temple. Letter from Orca does not have that problem. I'd say it's like I'll say like a B. Because Orca, like, you're gonna be doing FW early in a lot of your seeds. It's not like Bido where, like, if you're doing it, you're probably fucked. Like, you probably did something wrong. Like, you just need to beat FW. And FW is not like, like, when it comes to dungeons you beat last, you almost never beat FW last. So you're always gonna be able to get this check decently. And, like, whenever you leave FW, you're also literally right next to a mailbox. So you can just go get it. So, like, I may actually put it up because of that. Like, it's such a... It's fine. Yeah, Bido's also logged by Note to Malm, and so it's so much worse, but... Entering Inner Cave... I'll be honest, I'm gonna literally rank it with the other two, because I know technically you need Iron Boots, but you can just do the skip, and if you do the skip, it means Ice Ring is a 3 check location, and this check's a little slow, but it's so good to have that Ice Ring, because it just makes Ice Ring so much stronger. So I think it's a good check, and it's hinted a lot too, so sometimes you don't have to do it. I think this check's fine. I think the check generally has, like, a positive impact. Yeah, the skip is fast, the combat cave is fine, it's not that slow, so yeah, I think it's fine. Octo Fairy. This one's gonna be... might be the single hardest check to rank in the game. S? It is not S. I don't even think I'm gonna rank it that highly. I think it's like a C. I think it's similar to Cyclos. Here's the problem, right? It's a hint, and that's really useful a lot of the time. The fact you get a hint with this check is so useful. The problem with it is it's in the middle of nowhere and it's slow, and that's not a good combo. Like, it doesn't have a bad requirement. You just need a projectile of some sort, but it's not fast. The cutscenes take forever. You have to sail pretty far out, and I feel the biggest problem is that its neighbors are Southern, Angular, and Headstone. So, like, the only times when it really neatly routes in is if, like, Angular Cave is dead or you have Mirror Shield. So, I don't know. I feel like the check is good, but it doesn't always have a good positive effect. So I think a C tier is fair for it. E2 three blocks. Um, this one's hard to rank actually. I don't really know. They are much worse mirrorless. Yeah, that is to take into consideration. And also, you can't do this chest with chest storage, and that has messed me up a few times. I think it's like a... It's like an E minus, I think. It's really in the middle of nowhere. It's hard to get to. If you go the normal way, it sucks. If you go the backwards way, it sucks. Because if you do backwards, you have to do this check last. So that means you have to go from Stalfos mini boss to this, and that means you have to leave Stalfos mini boss, and that sucks. No, this check's bad. It honestly is a contender for F tier. Kill all on tall basement. This check sucks. I don't like this check. It's so long, and you need, like, if you don't have lights, it can be a nightmare to kill everything. Yeah, the placement's fine. I think an E, like a low E. It's kind of, I think it's similar to like. No, I think I'll put it next to Wizard Mini Boss. Actually, no, I'm gonna move Wizard Mini Boss up and move this. I'm gonna move these two together. I think these two are like very similar. They're just not fun. It does have the chest loading problem too. Yeah, sometimes the chest doesn't load. You know what? Yeah, that's enough to put it lower. Yeah, it's a little worse. The fact that can happen is really stupid. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's fair. Under Rope Bridge, this check's honestly fine. I'm gonna put it with the rest of the Bs. It's not exceptional. It's not great. You can argue it's lower. You know what? Maybe I'll put it lower. I'll put it one lower. It's not as fast as these. It's kind of slow. Yeah, the gameplay is not the best. No, yeah, I think B- is fair. Alright, Vine Maze. I love the Vine Maze chests. Where is that? Where did I put Morthbit? Yeah, Morthbit. These are all really good checks. Oh, Diamond Step chest 2, here we go. This one, what did I put down? Oh yeah, I'm just gonna put this with, I think these are both B tier. I think these can kind of stay there. Yeah, I didn't really explain Vine Maze, but Vine Maze is, it's just such a good region because it has such high check density, and it only takes like a minute to clear. It's 4 checks in 1 minute, pretty much. That's a really, really good bet. So I think all of these checks are really good. I should change. I'm kind of doing this late, but I should change up these colors. F tier, like black, I guess. Yeah. Actually, you can't really see do that. I don't know. Light 2 torches. This check's fine. It's like a mid. Maybe high? No, it's not higher. There's nothing special about this check. Where's the other skull room chest? This is kind of here too. They're all kind of the same. DRC chest and water jug room. This is like the first water jug room. This check's fine. I'm gonna put this again in the DRC like mid tier because again, there's nothing special about it. It's just an extra check you get while you're doing DRC. House of Wealth chest. This one, I'm gonna put it one below S tier. It's Sphere 0. The problem I have with it, for one, it's annoying to get to, actually. I have jump slashed off the fence, like, way too many times, like, over it. This check's kind of annoying to get to. And then also, this is, like, House of Wealth isn't actually that brain dead to route, because you sometimes want to wait for, Moblins or Maggies. Usually you don't, but, like, I don't think this is S tier. Actually, is it S tier though? No, I don't think it's as ubiquitous as like these checks. So, letter from grandma. God, I hate this check. It has to be E minus. I don't think I can go higher than that. Okay, here's the thing. Negatives are... It's insanely slow. It requires a bottle. It's the only check in the game that requires a bottle. So, and bottles are like not always commonly like early in logic. It's really bad. The plus is you get soup though. And soup actually does save a lot of time later on. But the seed is so... Or not the seed, the check is so bad. And so slow, and it makes routing outset so much more complicated because unlike Big Pig, which you can realistically just like delay till the late game, you kind of don't want to go to outset till you can do grandma your first time. And if you get like a bottle like right after you do outset, it's one of the worst feelings in the world because outset's not an easy place to double dip. Like, I think it's something like underrated about it where it's like there are certain regions that you can go back to because they have stuff around them, but outset isn't like that because if you like, there's only like the only reason to go to outset is you go the first time and then you would go one more time for Big Pig. You can realistically do 2 outset trips. The problem is the second outset trip is kind of like random when it happens, and if you miss grandma because you don't have a bottle, then you sometimes have to delay the outset trip for so long. Like, that check is just, I don't know, I really don't think the check is good. It evens out. I would put the check in F tier if it wasn't for soup. I think soup saves it from F tier. It's so bad though. I think it's E. I think it's E minus. I don't know. Soup is really nice to have, but I don't think it saves it that much. Like, genuinely, grandma is just one of the worst checks. It's so slow. If it wasn't so slow, I wouldn't mind it as much, but it's just so slow. I don't know. Okay, maybe I'll do E, but this check sucks. And like the main problem I have with this check is it has no synergy with the rest of outset. That's the biggest problem I find with it. If it actually can, like, if you can route outset so you can do it like early more often, I don't think it would be a problem. But like, you just never can do this check, so I don't know. Wizrobe Cave. Is anyone gonna fight me on this? Wizrobe Cave is the worst check in the game. It's honestly a really hard toss-up between these two. I don't think there's another contender between ET or Stavros Mini Boss and Hopper and Wizrobe. These are far and away the worst 2 checks in the game. All right, I'll come back to this, but I mean, Wizrobe Cave's F tier. It's F tier. It's terrible. Like, it stays there. Cabana Peak. I kind of hate this check. I think it's an E tier. At the top. But yeah, if there's something on this check and Cabana is late in logic, you're just fucked. Like, there's almost no reason to go to Cabana until you can fully clear it. And that just means this check gets left out in the open so much. So I don't know, I kind of hate this check. I think it belongs in E tier. Like, it's not a bad check on its own. It's just the fact that it's in Cabana makes it so much worse. It's like, imagine like you can do Ice Ring outer chest without Fire and Ice. That's kind of what it would be like. So, Angular Peak. God, I hate this check too. This is genuinely Cabana on crack, I'd say. A lot better than Season 6. You know what? I can agree with that. Yeah. These two are similar. I hate this check. It's so bad. But it's not as bad as it used to be. Like, I would argue this was unarguably F tier in Season 6. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, it was the worst check in the game. Not one of the worst, but it was one of the worst. But I think nowadays, yeah, I think with Octo Fairy it might rise a little bit, but I don't know. ET chest behind statues. This is the one in left side that's behind the like breakable statues. Uh, Honestly, as it comes to left side checks, this one's fine. This is like one of the most average left side checks. It's the only one that you can really peek. So like this check, you don't like this chest at all, and it's fine. Compared to everything else in left side, I'll take it honestly. Wind Temple first room chest. I'm gonna put this in B tier. There's nothing crazy. Actually, no, it gets worse because Leaf can be in this check, and this check is completely like not anything. It gets a lot worse with the fact that Leaf can be here though. Leaf being in Wind Temple actually can happen, and that's happened a few times. Yeah, it goes down. I mean, it's an average check, but because of that, it goes down. Do you see big key chest? Ooh, you're F tier. You're a straight F tier. Check takes forever. It's annoying to route. It complicates DRC logic so much. Is it worse than Zunari? I don't. Is it worse than Pop Wizard? These three are definitely up there for 3 worst checks in the game. Zunari too. I'm gonna put FM back down here. Like, this is like a hard fight for worst check in the game. These are all terrible. But yeah, I mean, I don't have too much else to say, honestly. Yes, I agree. I think it is worse. I think ET Big Key Chest or DC Big Key Chest is awful. That check is so slow. And like what it does to DRC logic is just so annoying because you need like especially if you're going forwards, you lose a lot of time if there's a big key on or if there's a small key on big key chest because you have to do like the slow key skip. If you don't know the key skip, you're out of luck. So no, I think this chest deserves it. Maybe it's not as bad as Zunari. I think maybe here. I think Fireman is also worse than it. This check sucks though. And also, this is one of the only fully grapple lock checks in FF or in DRC. That's another problem because grapple doesn't actually lock that much. So going into DRC without grapple isn't always the worst play. This is one of those checks that is actually grapple locked. So, all right, Vine Maze right chest. I'm just gonna throw that one with the rest of the Vine Maze that goes up there. All right, Needle Rock chest. I think this one gets a D. It's really easy with Fire and Ice. Was sometimes hit a bait bag, I think. So the problem I have the reason I'm putting this one so low is because bait bag. The fact that there's situations where this check is alone with like this is the only check in logic and you have to get it with bait bag is the reason. And the problem isn't even necessarily that it's so slow, it's that there's no beetle shop that sells bait anywhere near Needle Rock. That's the biggest problem with it. You have to usually like warp to Outset or like Forest Haven and then go to Greatfish to get a pair. Because a lot of the time, especially if you just got bait bag, you won't have a pair on you when you gotta do this check. So this check becomes really annoying. It's not that bad. I can't rank it much lower because like other than that it's fine, but yeah. You see Water on the Shelf dungeon secret. This is the one in the room with the like the beginning, like on the first area of DRC. This one is mid. It's just another check. There's nothing really to it. Maggie free item. What did I put? This one's just gonna go right next to House of Wealth chest. I'd say these kind of go hand in hand. There's nothing like too crazy about them. It's just another Sphere Zero check you do at the beginning of a seed. Letter from Errol. This one's interesting. It's FF. FF does have the problem of it's not like Orca Mail. Like this is definitely worse than Orca Mail because you don't spawn after FF right next to a mailbox. Yeah, there's no mailbox in Star, so like you have to go somewhere else. So I think this one could maybe go in B. It's still a decent check. Like you just had to progress a night cycle, but it's not the worst, but it's not the best. Crescent. This one's pretty good. I think Crescent's fine. The main thing this check has is synergy. It has synergy with Ghost Ship. It has synergy with Paw Print and DRI. S tier? Yeah, S tier. I think it belongs there. And it's also a freestander. So one of the nice things about Crescent is that you can if you fail the DRI fly across trick, you can store this chest as a backup. That's one of the chests you can back up with. So honestly, I think Crescent's pretty good. I think it belongs in S tier. Cabana Labyrinth, this is like the other Cabana check. Let me where did I put the other one? I think I said like a really long time ago I'd come back to this. So Cabana, I think I'm gonna have to put them down in D tier. The problem with Cabana, oh actually no, the check density is so good. The thing with Cabana is that it's logically super late in logic. But the good thing with Cabana is that it has 3 very not that slow checks. These checks aren't that slow, and they're like it's a pretty quick check density. So I think they're higher, but they're annoying checks to do. So I think they're pretty bad still. And it's weird to put Cabana Labyrinth higher than the Peak, but I think the Peak has caused more problems than the Labyrinth has a lot of time. So Angler Cave, you're F tier. You suck. Because you were the only reason that Mirror Shield was useful in the overworld. And you were kind of the reason Angular Peak is so bad, honestly. Like, not only does Angular Cave kill Angular as a region, it also hurts Peak. The reason Angular Peak is so low is because Cave. The only thing that's redeemable about Angular Cave is that you can peak it. The problem with Angular Cave, though, is that that peak, like, you don't really want to go out of your way because going to Angular is so slow. Angular is like one of the farthest places out from anywhere else. Like I think it takes like a full 30-something second plus sail to get to Angular from anywhere. Because Angular is like tucked away in the bottom corner of the quadrant. So sailing to Angular from anywhere sucks. And then this check is also slow. If you're in like a go mode situation, I guess yeah, you can peek it, but like you can peek it beforehand, but you also don't get the chance to peek it a lot. So like I feel this check is definitely, it might be at the higher end of F tier, but like it's definitely an F tier. This check is terrible. Cascade Second Crypt, this one's fine. I'm gonna put this in like the mid tier. It's a left side check, which kind of makes it automatically worse, but when it comes to the left side checks, it's fine. It's one of the faster ones, so that one's fine. Wind Temple Second Room Dungeon Secret. This one's also fine. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of fucked me over in one of the quals because I missed hookshot, but like, I mean, that was my fault. I think a B- is fine. It's kind of just a little slow and it's annoying. The Armos can sometimes fuck with you, but oh shit. The Armors can sometimes fuck with you, but it's not a big deal. Middle hub room, I also am gonna put I'm gonna put here in the mid. Again, I don't really have much to say about it. It's just a check you can sometimes store with it, so like I think it's fine. Vine Maze Dungeon Secret. Oh, this is Vine Maze. I'm gonna put this with the rest of the Vine Maze. This one's the worst of the Vine Maze checks because you do kind of have to go out of your way for it, but it's not a big deal. And so actually, I did realize what I'm going through is I missed a few checks in Taji. I'm gonna quickly add those when I'm done, like in a sec. But finally, Needle Rock Cave. That's the last overworld check we need to rank, and it's bad. I think I can put it with the chest. Because it's so slow. Like Needle Rock Cave is one of the slowest checks in the game. It feels, maybe it's not the slowest, but it feels slow because it takes a while to shoot 6 fire arrows. So I think that check is fairly, it's just fairly bad. So yeah. Let me see if I can find. When I was importing this, I might have missed one of the, I missed a few checks in Taji, so let me just try and find them. I can quickly, add them to... Okay, I'm gonna make a... No, it just feels slow, I'd say. I think that check, more than anything, just feels really slow. So what did I miss? I think I got all the first floor checks, but first Armos, or officially, Taji, first Armos, Taji, Manstone, G, room, script. Put in, or container. Okay, and then there was a few in a. If I missed, there was a upper, or upper jail cell. Theft. What was the other one? It was a chest on bed and Phantom Ganon. All right. Good. Just oh, whoa. Okay, yeah, this is right. Okay. So here we go. These are the last couple checks. So first one's first Armos. This check's fine. It's kind of slow. It's kind of annoying. I'm gonna put it in B minus. The main issue I have with it is it's annoying. It's kind of just annoying to get to. So I'll just leave that there. I don't really have too much to say about it because you kind of just do it. You get the chance. It is bow locked, but I mean like you should be in Taji with bow anyway. So I think I'll just leave it there. Taji Command Stone. I don't even know where to rank this one. I think it's a B, I guess. It's a hard locked check if you're doing Taji. Loki maybe S tier, but like, I mean I guess actually it's not S tier because like small keys, but I don't know. I think it's a B. There's nothing to it. It's just a cutscene, so. Dark Knight mini boss. You know, I don't think it's that bad. Because of the new like or the strat where you can chest storage your way into it, I actually think it's pretty good. I think it's fine. Maybe it's a D, like a high D. Because it is slow, and it's one of the slowest checks in the dungeon. Actually, no, it's not anymore, though. With the thing, it's not. You know, I think it's a C. No, I think it honestly has gone a lot better. And we're not playing Season 6 anymore, so Taji, like, Magicless, or, like, Leafless Taji isn't the meta anymore. So Leaf or Magic being on this check is not, like, a big deal. So I think that check got a lot better. Second Armos, this check's kind of annoying. I don't like, the bomb pull is, like, stupid annoying, but I think it just gets another E- with its brother. Touchy lower floating plats. The 2 floating plats chests are not great, but you can peek them super easily. I'm also gonna put these in B-. I think I'm gonna put this one in C, top of C, because this check is a lot more annoying if you don't have leaf. It's more annoying in general. This check, at least if you don't have leaf, it's not that bad, but this one gets really annoying to get to. I'm gonna put it like this. Touchy big key chest, another not that interesting check. I'm gonna put it in B because it's like command stone. You just have to get it. Touchy big key room dungeon secret. I don't know. To be honest, of the dungeon secrets, this one's kind of like the DRC one, and it's not important. Like, I feel this is one of the most superfluous checks in the game. It kind of just exists. Like, in a nice way, it kind of just exists. I guess I can put it in B. Like, it doesn't do anything wrong, but it doesn't do anything good either. Golden Heart Container? Where do I put this? I feel like it's in the same tier as the other 2 heart containers I had. Where were Callie and Mulgir, like here? I think it's similar to these 2. I don't like the boss as much, but I actually do find that this one has a lot of items, so yeah, and I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. And it's close to the portal, yeah. I think the check is fine. Alright, the final 3 are just FF. Just on bed, this is the one I have the least to talk about, because there's nothing really too interesting to say. I'm gonna put this in B because it's average. The next 2 are interesting though. So first is Upper Jail Cell. This one's kinda bad. The main problem is that you need to... This is the reason that you have to change up your FF route sometimes. The floor magic, yeah, because if you don't have a way to get across the gap, you need to use a floor master, and that's kind of slow. And then you have to do the Wind Waker dive into FF instead of the normal route. And it's not the worst, but like, it just makes the check so much worse. I think maybe I think a high D actually, yeah. I don't think it's a low C, I think it's a high D. Because the annoyance it can cause is really bad sometimes. The check itself is fine, like if you have Leaf or Hookshot, it's free to get, but when you don't, it can be really obnoxious. But then finally is Phantom Ganon, which this one's hard to route right. It's hard to route and rate because it's so good for so many things and it's so awful for so many other things. The main positive of this one is that it's a great way to get to the top of FF and beat it quickly. That's good. That's a really good use. But the problem with it is it's also really slow, and it means that you need a Master Sword in order to do FF the most effectively, and that's a huge problem. Waiting for Master Sword is one of the like main reasons why you delay FF, and it's honestly kind of aggravating because it doesn't even feel like greeting at a certain point. Like, it's kind of, Master Sword's almost required for FF because it's so much faster to do the chest storage with Phantom Ganon that it makes routing FF just so much more annoying. And I also will say Phantom Ganon is the most annoying check if it's hinted dead, because the FF route without Phantom Ganon is annoying. You have to like do annoying leaf annoying leaf flights to skip most of it, and those are annoying. I don't like doing any of those. So this check isn't great when it's on, and when it's hinted dead, I hate it even more. Because having the chest there to do the like quickly get to the end is so useful. So I don't know. It has so many negatives. I think it gets an E. Also, yeah, the entire fight is just RNG. It has some positives, but I think the actual check is kind of like an E. It just has so many problems. So, all right. Let me now that we're done with all the things, let me just go through the list. I wanna rate these. So, what is I think we can kind of say that these are the best checks in the game. What is the single best check in the game? I feel like the cop-out answer is Tingle. These Tingle chests. I mean, the Tingle checks, because they're so fast. I kind of want to put Salvage Core. Because Salvage Core is so easy. It's, Like Crescent. Crescent is there too. I think Crescent definitely deserves to go up. I think it's Tot. My only issue with Tot is he's slow. That's kind of the issue with Crescent too. I think maybe he's worse than Tot. Because Crescent is kind of slow. Try to Horseshoe's dead. You just get him at Pop Print. Or you get him at when you do Cyclos at Northern Triangle. Or you get him at fucking, I don't know, Western Ferry. Like he used to be even easier. I don't know, Salvage Core is such a good item, or such a good check. And like I guess the other annoyance with Tangle is like, let's say in some hell scenario you do Cliff Plot BPR and get 2 Tangle statues. You can't turn in the Tangle statues until you've done these Tangle checks. That is my one negative that I can come up with those checks. I don't think Salvage Core has that negative. It doesn't have like, I don't think Salvage Core has any negatives. It's, you do it when you go to those places and then you're good. I don't know. Maybe I can put it below. I'll put it above Tot because it's faster than Tot. And then Crescent, and then Cliff Flat. I think the Cliff Flats make sense. I think Mother and Child is below Underling's. Underling's House is such a like unanimous Sphere 0 easy check that I think it's like that. Mother and Child, it's so good. The problem is that it also has routing problems because of the way it interacts. It has a lot of versatility, but then it has a lot of problems too. So, and then Islet. I still think Islet is S tier because you can get to it from so many places, but it does have its own problems. It has money, it's fast, you can super swim to a lot of you can super swim to it from a lot of places, but it is also kind of far away. But I think it still definitely gets an S tier. All right, and then so A tier. I think most of these are good. Maybe let's see. I think the letters probably should go to the top. These are. Do the letters get S tier? You know what? Maybe the letters get S tier. These are genuinely some of the best checks in the game. Because actually, I would put these above like Mother. Actually, I wouldn't put them. I'd put them above Islet. I'd say. These checks are just so easy. They're so free. There's nothing about them. Like you just get them. They're like they're basically just free checks. So. Yeah, I think Maggie's free can be the top of this. I think Ankle can also go pretty high. House of Wealth chest can stay there, but yeah, I can put Beetle above Mesas. I think this one goes at the bottom, I would say, of this little group. I think a top Boulder probably goes above those two. Password Flower, I think can too. I think this might genuinely be the best check in a dungeon. This or these. These 2 checks are the 2 best dungeon checks in the game, I'd say. Because this one is so fast and so easy and gives you so much info. This one, you get it's easy to peek, you get a storage shot that makes the rest of the room faster. Like, it's such a good check. These 2 are such good checks. I actually think I've had a change of heart too. I think I'm going to move, where is Hole in Tree? I'm going to put Hole in Tree higher too. Did I put it one lower? Where's Hole in Tree? Oh no, it's here. It's here. Sorry. Okay, I think this is the single best dungeon check. Actually, I think it's this one. Hole in Tree is so good. Genuinely, it might be higher. Actually, I would say maybe it's here. Hole in Tree is such a ubiquitous check. You do this every single time. What it gives you is so important. So I think I can put it at the top. I think Password Flower can go here. And then these 2, I think this is I think the A can go in this order, I think. And I think this sounds about right. These 2 checks, I don't want to, they're roll clips, they suck, but they're also ubiquitous. Actually, no, they should be higher. Actually, I think the check that I'm going to put lower is this one, actually. I think Beetle can go lower. But, I mean, to be honest, this is like a very, whatever. Like, these don't matter too much. I think these are very, like, similar. So these, I feel like I can put Ice Ring there. What is the best one? I want to like pinpoint what's the best check in each of the tiers. Cause this one, I feel like Letter from Orca actually could go up. I think Letter from Orca could be an A tier. I feel like Morthbit maybe. I think this is one of the strongest like sections of like the game here. Like these three checks are. Oh wait, not this one. These three are so fast. Where's the secret? Oh, it's here. So all of these four checks are so fast. They work so well with each other. I think those are probably the four best in that. And then what's the lowest here? I guess Guarded by Boko's kind of, it's just kind of there. Lower jail cell too. Actually, it's Double Mafia. No, Double Mafia is probably lowest. It has the most drawbacks. Popper and left chest. I think this one. I think this one's lowest. I think that actually is most fair. Yeah, that's the mini Blins room. Yeah. Yeah, I think this makes sense. Maybe put Stonehead a little lower too. Yeah, I think that this looks about right. Okay, so then this is the big one. I'm not gonna order these too much because honestly, this is my dumping ground for a lot of the mid checks. Like, I'm just gonna put them all in order by dungeon, and I'm gonna put the dungeon ones automatically at the bottom. My B tier got huge, but this is just because it's meant to basically be like all the mid dungeons. So you're there. I'm gonna put the heart containers all here. Literally, do I make heart container tier? I low-key just want to make heart container tier because I don't know how to rate these. Sorry. So like these. Okay, so let me just. I just want to get these all organized first. Okay, so where the wind? There. Okay, so I guess I can move. I'm not gonna rate the dungeons because honestly, so many of these checks are boring. There's not really much to them. They're just kind of like you do these on your path. Are there any of that? The only one I'm gonna look for is there a check that might want to go up? These two, no. I don't think so either. Not with the new machete change. I don't think this one goes up. I don't think any of these are too spectacular. Yeah. Yeah. These are all just so mid. Okay, so yeah, I think I'll leave all these, but so then these are the interesting ones. I'm gonna rank all these above the dungeon, like the dungeon, just like drop off. I think Letter from Errol is probably the worst check in this entire sequence. I feel like Letter from Errol is just such an. Actually, no, it's Binomail. No, it's Binomail. Binomail is the worst. Okay, these are annoying me. I'm gonna make heart container tier. What? Oh my god. Hello? Oh wait, I changed this one. I'm silly. No, this is F tier. Yeah, honestly, I just don't know how to rank these. They're all so weird and random. Where's Drawhala? Drawhala's there. I think, yeah, Callie's here. Up with Goma. Rock. Goma's like here somewhere. God, this is becoming hard to read. Like, there are. Oh, here it is. Okay. Container. I kind of like that. Container. Okay. So. I'm gonna put these all. So okay, wait. So what's the best check here? I think it's probably Paw Print. Yeah, I think this one's probably the most useful. Then Diamond Step. No, I think Wind's Requiem. Then the Diamond Steps. I think these are both really good checks. And I'm not gonna distinct these because honestly these are so similar. Small Island is next. Minenko. Is Minenko better than Small Island? Part of me feels like honestly putting Minenko here. Yeah, honestly, it's hard to say. Yeah, I don't know. Minenko's just not that bad. Like, I feel like in comparison to these checks, Minenko is such a not a time commitment. It's such a fine. I'll put it at the top. I'm gonna put it at the top of B tier. And then yeah, I think it's then Errol and then Fido. I think that's pretty good. Puppies. Okay. This one. What's the best one in this tier? Because this is when it starts to get a little shitty. So. I think Maggie's turn-in is pretty good. BPR, I think BPR might be the front runner. Yeah, I think Kill Floor Masters is actually pretty high up there too. With the Lenzos. I think Boating Course is towards the bottom of this tier. I'm gonna put Wind Temple First Room kind of low too. I guess this one can kind of go with other Floor Masters. I mean, yeah, if we couldn't break into BPR, it would definitely be an instant F. No, I have to change of heart. I don't think it's. I think. No. Yeah, no. BPR is. It's such a staple. So I don't know. I think it goes there. I think this one behind statues can go to. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna bring down this too. These checks. They're not bad on their own, but they're guilty by association because they're on left side. Honestly, if you're on left side, you're a B-. Like, I hate to say it, but the fact that they're on left side just brings these checks down by so much. I don't think I can have this check in the higher group. Because there's no other checks that are so toxic. There's no other place that's so toxic to be than that. Oh, I can put. I think this one I can put kind of high. This one's kind of towards the bottom. Oh, first armor's 2. Actually, I'm gonna put these here because or behind Lenzos. I'm putting so much thought into this. These two are pretty similar. This one actually has more. Maybe I can put this one a little. I'll put this one a little lower. This one has some potential because you can also store this chest and do some routes with it. So, it said Boating Course was the end, and then I started putting stuff behind it. Where's higher floating flats? I think I put it the tier below. I'll put this one higher. Okay, yeah, I think this is right. I think Boating Course probably goes at the bottom here, but maybe like this. Yeah, I think this looks like somewhat right. Or wait, no. I want these two to be together. And this one goes higher. Actually, this one should go like... Actually, wait, this one should not be in this tier. This one should be higher. I think this one goes here. Okay, I think that's right. I think that's right. All right, C tier. This is when we get to the shit. Who's the best in this tier? I think it's 2i. Yeah, it's got to be 2i. I don't think third crypt is that low. Do I put Killer Bees lower? Yeah, I am. I'm putting them in D tier. Like, Killer Bees are stable. Like, you have to do them in the beginning, but like, they're such a bad check. Not so much. There's not a lot of checks that are that slow. Like, I think they can honestly go in D tier. I think 7 arms could go to like the bottom of this tier. Operant Cave, right chest. Yeah, if Kids was only one check, it would be even worse. I think the Cabana checks actually. These two can also. I think they can go here because there's 2 of them. If there weren't 2 of them, I'd put third crypt higher. But this is better. Is it better than? No, third crypt is better than that. But I can like compare it. Like, I would say this is better than Big Key. Southeast Gumbo. These both gotta go down. No, but this check sucks too. I actually am gonna put Cyclos a little higher because I think that's better than these. This one can go higher too. I don't. This check is annoying, but honestly, I'm also hesitant. I can just put it here. Where's the bomb? Where's the Tachi bomb wall? Did I? I'm just gonna put it here, honestly. If you're doing this check, you're doing this check. It's annoying, but now that I learned the proper strat for it, like, it's not a C tier. It's fine. I feel like mini boss is actually better than this. It's gone that much better. I think a mini boss could also go up. I think the buff to mini boss this season actually is kind of important. Yeah, low-key, I'm gonna put it here. I think mini boss gets to escape C tier. It gets a B minus. Only the last thing I think would be. I think it's here. Okay, I think the C tier is pretty good. I think that's right. All right, D tier. Okay, on closer inspection note, upper jail cell goes up. I think it probably goes here. What's the best one in this tier? What's at the bottom here? I think Tingle actually can probably go to the higher part of this tier. What are the wars? Horseshoe Cave can go pretty far down. I guess Killer Bees I can put a little higher. There. Is Tingle better? Yeah, Tingle is better than Killer Bees. Is Headstone better than Killer Bees? That's a hard one. I think ETBK is better. I also think I don't want to put this one higher because it can be so annoying sometimes, but yeah, I think it stays here. Golden Gumbo, yeah, I think it belongs here. I mean, all the needle. Honestly, I can put all. Actually, no. I think Golden Gumbo goes to the bottom. I think the other 2 needle rocks honestly are fine. These 2 work together fine. This one just fucks everything up. I still think Horseshoe's though. It's Parent Chest, yeah, I can stay there. Flag. Yeah, I think this is. Okay. We're almost there. Only 3 more tiers to order. What's the best one in this? I think it's Phantom Ganon probably. Yeah. And I think the worst, it's definitely the mini bosses. These two suck. Bomb Island's at the bottom too. Horseshoe is at the... yeah, Horseshoe's at the bottom. Actually, no, I think Horseshoe goes a little higher because it has a cave now. These two's weird. I feel like Creep is actually... Is it... I feel like Creep in more situations is... Actually, no, but Tree Branch takes longer than Creep does. I don't know. I think Scale the Wall is actually in a good spot. I think the peaks... Should they go lower or higher? Like, it's hard for me to I feel like they should go higher. Because at least they're not that slow. Big Key Chest better than Great? Yes, it is. I'd say Secret Cave is better than Tree Branch too. I think Miss Marie can stay there. Okay. E minus. What's the worst in E minus? Is it Big Pig? Big Pig's might be at the bottom. God, these all suck. What's the best one actually? The best one would be easier. I think the best one's probably 3 blocks. Yeah. I feel like of all of them, the only one that kind of looks weird here is 3 blocks. I think it's probably the better one. I think Star Island has to fall to the bottom. I still... Maybe I can put Mila like higher, but I really don't like... Yeah, actually, kill? This one, honestly, I think goes here. I think this one's higher. Yeah, I think this is good. And then for F tier, Master Chamber, Ganon Maze. These 3 are kind of here as a technicality, honestly. Would I say they're worse? I mean, this one's honestly... I'm going to put this one in container tier. This one doesn't belong in F tier. It belongs in container tier. But, do these checks belong here? What's the best in this tier? Which of these checks is best? I feel like it's Bido. It's gotta be Bido. Bido, it sucks, but it's not that slow if you actually have to do it. Low-key, Bido might not even be here. I think Bido might be here. And these are all so close. Like, I can literally... I can make a case for all of these being the worst. Ugh. Not these two. I think these two are for sure not. This one's worse than this one, though. Master Chamber is much better than Maze. Maze is worse. But all of these... Maybe not Dungeon Circuit. I think this Dungeon Circuit I can move a little bit higher. These 6 checks all have the chance... Like, I can... Maybe not even this one. I think this one could go higher, too. These 5 checks. You can make a reasonable case for all of these checks being the worst check in the game. I think... What are the problems with all of them? Because this one, you need Mirror Shield, it kills Angular, it makes your rounding around here suck. This one takes on... I think Fire Mountain probably goes above it, honestly. These two can flip-flop. I think, honestly, the bottom 5, you can kind of, like... This makes sense to me. At least these two. I think these two are the better of the bottom 5. Because this one just isn't that slow. This one isn't that annoying to route. So they kind of are, like, interchangeable. I think these two can kind of both thing. I think, personally, I'd put Fire Mountain below it, but... These 3... I think Zunari's 3. I think it's between these 2. And I'll be honest, I actually think I'm going to change it. I think Wizard of Cave's the worst. Because think about it, right? How many seeds have you played where you had no arrows because you did Wizard of Cave? That's my biggest consideration at this point now. I think mini boss, Salvus mini boss, I think it's the most committal check in the game to get. I think Wizard Cave has a bigger impact on more seeds because it's in all of them. I think Wizard Cave genuine. It's one of these two. Like these two flip flop. It's so hard to say. These two are so bad. No, I think it's Salvus mini boss. No, I think it is Salvus mini boss. I think Salvus mini boss gets it. Okay. Yeah. I think this is my final tier list. You could be lower. You could, but I don't think I can. I don't know. I think this bottom 5 is honestly fairly solid. I feel it's hard to make a case for ET Dungeon Secret because considering how few seeds have had it be important. Meanwhile, these 5 checks have dictated so many seeds. Not this one. This one, to be fair, is the least one I've seen. I don't think I've seen a single time that Stalfos mini boss has had anything, but it doesn't even need to be something. That just doing this check on its own is just so bad. So, like, I think this check deserves the worst in the game. I think the other 4, you can make a case, but I don't think... I think this is right. I think we figured it out. Alright. So that's my tier list. That was fun. How long has this been? It's been 3 hours. I've been at this for 3 hours. Anyway. That was fun though. That was fun. Maybe I'll do one of these for Skyward Sword. But hey, I thought that was fun. I'm gonna post this to YouTube, so I'm trying to actually do some YouTube content, and what's better than a good old tier list? So again, according to this, according to my list, the best check in the entire game is Tingle, the Tingle item, the Tingle items, and technically, I think Tingle Jail first item is, I think, statistically the best, or not statistically, but I think you can make a case that it is legitimately the best check in the game, because if you get an item on Tingle first check, you have more time to think about the routing than you do if you got it on second check. That's all I can think of, but yeah, I think technically this is better than Maze Chest. I think this is, these 3 checks are just so good. And then after that, the worst check in the game, it's either Stalfos Mini Boss, Wizard Cave, or Zunari. I think it's gotta be one of these 3. I don't see how... I think it could also be Fire Mountain, but... I don't know. These 4 checks... This one too. These 5 checks just fuck everything up. They're so bad. Angular Cave, I think, is 5th. I think this is the only placement that I'll say, I don't think it will move. I think it can stay here. I think these 4, on close... thinking about it closely, I don't see how these move. Because FM is so bad. FM could be the worst. Zunari fucks up so many seeds. It's just so bad, but... Okay. We did it. So yeah. With that, I hope you enjoyed. Let me find a raid target. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the tier list content. I honestly, I might do one of these for Scout, so it could be fun. I'll raid Jade. She's doing no wrong warp, so go enjoy. And yeah, also yeah, I can share the tier list if you guys want to make. I'm gonna post this in the Wind Waker Discord. If you guys want to do your own tier lists, go ahead. So yeah, alrighty. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.
Right.